Woo! I always get so nervous when it's like 3, 2. I'm like, oh god, my armpits are starting to sweat. Why do I go through that? Why do I go through that? Oh my God. Greetings and salutations, everyone that is here in the chat, everyone that is watching us live now, and everyone that will watch the replay. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Without you, there is no us. So everyone knows before I usually get started, I'd like to introduce everyone. So if this is your first time here, welcome. But we are going to go around, I guess, the board, and I want each of you to introduce yourselves and let everyone know where they can find you. We can start with Jay.
Okay, I'll make sure. Okay. Hey, my name is Jay. From another round. Of course, you can see the name right there. You find me here on Sabrina's channel from time to time. You find me at Kojo's channel at Little Black Book. And you can also find me on Instagram at another round _JS.
What's going on? I'm Gustavo Carr. You can find me on Instagram, right what it says, Gustavo Victor Carr, my full name. And yeah, I am on here from time to time with Sabrina. We love this show. Jamie Alexander and I do a recap on it. We've been best friends since high school, and we all connected through the love of this show and to talk about love, right? So, love.
Yes, I am Jamie Alexander, on-camera host, producer, and investor. And I can be found here, okay? I'm Jamie Alexander. Make sure to spell it Jaimi. And yeah, catch me with some fun, silly content and whatever else I'm doing here on Sabrina's channel. And our last show for Gus and I, our after show, will be Friday at 8 when the reunion hits. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone from Ready to Love DC. You can catch me on all social media platforms at Ty Wilson 21 and on the various platforms. Whenever they ask me to be on one of the panels, it's always a pleasure. So, once again, happy to be here.
Hey guys, my name is Kojo, Little Black Book 91. I'm happy to be here as well. Y'all can find me on YouTube, Instagram underneath that name as well. Pass it back to the host.
All right. Thank you so much. And everyone knows who I am. I am Miss Sabrina Soul on YouTube and on Instagram. And I do have another channel called The Missing Link. Definitely check it out if you are an entrepreneur or you know someone that is interested in starting their own business. So today I have these amazing people here because we are going to be discussing Ready to Love, the last and final episode, which is 12, where everyone either chose each other or they didn't choose nobody. So that's what we are here discussing. Definitely make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you put all your comments and your remarks and your thoughts in the comment section. So because we be reading them. We just be reading them. Just to let you know. But okay, we're gonna do this slowly today. Okay, guys. I'm going to start with one picture because if you guys know, last time I had issues with sharing my screen, and today I worked really, really hard. So we're going to move slowly, and I'm going to put the first picture up. Okay. Oh, God. And it was a lot. So... For real, and I was so hoping that it wasn't going to screw up. So in the very, very, very beginning, pretty much Tommy has called everybody, all the remaining members, to brunch, and everybody's coming in. They're greeting each other, salutations, showing love, giving hugs, and it does a zoom into Donovan, and Donovan is pretty much on his green screen, and he is discussing how the last brunch he got side swiped. And things pretty much needed to be cleared up. Dakia is wondering where her and Paul are going to go. They have good chemistry. They have a great connection, but she is really trying to still figure Paul out. Carmen does talk to Cliff, and they talk about each other's connections. Donovan and Joy talk, and Carmen mentions that she is going back to Mexico with Donovan. Cliff tells Carmen that Joy is leaving in a week, and then Tommy comes in and pretty much talks to them. Now, in the very beginning, how do you guys feel about the whole brunch situation, them sitting down? Do you like, I kind of felt like that, I don't know, it just makes me think about when I was in the process and we all went up to the top and we all sat with each other, and it was just that awkward feeling, because it's kind of like, is he going to choose her or is he going to choose her? He's sitting with me, but I'm really not too sure. And then the fact that Dakia is there, honestly, keeping it 100, she was looking all kind of weird because she was giving Joy a hug and it was kind of like, like she really didn't want to. And then, I mean, I'm not too sure, but the fact that Joy is leaving for Mexico, how do you guys feel? Because that's one of the things that I do want to discuss. To be honest with you, I felt like that I wish I would have known previously that Joy was going to be going to Mexico. I feel like that they kind of just threw it on us last episode. It made me feel some type of way because, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that should have been said in the beginning, and, amongst other things. But how do you feel about their interaction, that they're all kind of sitting with other people and discussing their journey?
Like, for me, it just seems like Cliff and Joy are focusing on the moment, and it almost feels like they're doing a victory lap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We get to see the three different facets of it, of one couple, undecided, moving backwards, another couple kind of like trying to move forward, and then another couple, that relationship is just fully secure. I did feel like they were trying to emphasize the fact that it's going to be hard on Clifton.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like they just kept bringing that back over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, like, I know it's hard for him, but can we try to see what he can say to move past that? And it just felt like they just kept bringing that up over and over again. It started to get frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that. It
Mhm.
feels a little like pre-planned at this point. Like they just threw it on us to give us some type of chaos before the end so that we can keep
Mhm.
pulling for a connection and hoping that it's going to work. But all I think instinctively, well, I can't speak for everybody, for myself, knowing it's going to work. I think I'll say it again. I've said it before. When they first sat down, they both talked about how they like to make moves. They like to travel, like to be in different places.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was the thing that solidified their bond, because Joy's an artist and that's how we move. That's what happens. We are on tour, we're at home, we're shooting. And when you have that in common with somebody who's not like that, right then that's something that's going to set you off into the atmosphere of a connection with somebody. So I think it's a little like, I don't know what you mean by that, Sabrina, about you feel some kind of way. I don't know what kind of way you feel, but I do feel some way in the sense of like, it's like, all right, you trying to throw just something to give us a little more like zazazu in this situation. But I did love how they were like split apart, like right here. I love the chemistry between the friendship that feels bonded between the people right now. Like, I thought that was really beautiful to see them hyping each other up and saying like, good for you for getting this. That was a nice, like, community moment, such as the picture shows.
Yeah, I'm actually not mad at the fact that they brought up the traveling thing kind of like last minute, because I feel the same way, like you said, Gus. I feel like they needed something at the end to make us be like, so it's fine because we needed something, right? So this has kind of been the storyline since this episode, I would say, and last episode, the way it's come up. And, I do agree with you, Tyrone. As much as I get, okay, it's going to be hard for Clifton, I'm like, relax. This is a grown man. He is going to figure it out. But they did harp on that a lot. But I do watch Carmen's page and stories a lot and stuff. And it does seem like she has a bond with Demetrius, Donovan, and Clifton. And, I see Donovan on and stuff. So, yeah, the friendship, the camaraderie, I thought was cute. You can tell we're getting to the tail end and everybody's like, all right, y'all, this is what we're doing. How you feeling? So, yeah, good vibes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you all. I'll also say, to add on to it, it wasn't so much highlighting Clifton, because we already know that he openly said that he has a problem with it. But I think it was more so highlighting Joyce really acknowledging what's happening. This is kind of like when you're at the end of summer camp, or you had that summer fling and now the summer is over and it's reality is setting in. Is, oh, what, wow, we're not going to be able to do this like this anymore, you know. And so this is a reality check for everybody. We have to go back to the real world now. You know, this fun that we've been having, building this friendship and everything, now is coming to a close. And this is kind of like the last time we will actually be in this setting, seeing each other. So it was more so those emotions that I was getting from almost everybody there. But especially coming from Joy more so than Clifton at the time, because Clifton's been already dealing with it. And even though production sprung it on us, Joy seems like the type that she would have announced this in the beginning. So I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knew, like, hey, at the end of this, I'm going on tour. Y'all want to come see me? Come on. Like, I just don't see her holding that as a secret for too long, especially once she found her connection. It's just something like, okay, this is what we're going to have to deal with once this is over. And how do we move forward with that? And I just see that being a conversation between them two for a while. It just happens to be, this is now reality. This is where we go.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think Jay would have said it. Jay said it kind of what I was going to say, but I think Joy would have said this from the beginning. I think Clifton knew what he was getting into. I mean, I think actually it was on the show. Actually, it was said a little bit, because I think at least we know that Clifton was happy to travel, because it was something that was a conversation between himself and Dakia earlier on. That in the very first episode, actually, when in the mixer, he was talking about traveling, and that's where Tina came in. He was like, "Oh, do you like traveling?" So, you know, the traveling aspect for him I don't think it's a big deal. I think he will easily be able to make that up. It's not the traveling that's the issue. The traveling is actually quite. If you've ever done long distance before, traveling is not the problem. It's the fairy tale that's around the long distance relationship, when you know you're not seeing each other all the time. And you know, you have that distance, plus also as well the trust. Again, I don't know how Clifton is with the trust situation, because of the way that they kind of portrayed it a little bit, it looked a little bit like he wasn't so happy to trust so easily, especially with the past that he's had. So I think they've got a great foundation, and hopefully they've done enough work to build a solid foundation that when they now separate for 6 months, physically, that this can rock together. I definitely think Joy did put all the onus on Clifton if this doesn't work. She said, listen, straight up,
She did.
if the ball is dropped, it's not on my side, baby. It's on Clifton. Okay, so yeah, I think that was my final point. So I think Joy is expecting, if it does fail, Clifton done messed up.
I believe her too.
Oh yeah,
oh damn.
100%. Oh damn. I think just because Joy, and I don't think in a mean way. I mean, I don't know what you mean, Jamie, but I mean, for me, I think more of a sense of like, she's very confident where she stands and where she is emotionally and in her life. And like I said, I can't speak for her. I don't know her, but coming from the sense of an artist, it's like, it's scary when you're aware of what's going to happen, the situation it's going to entail when you're feeling something with somebody, because you know it's going to rely on them truly to be able to handle what's going to happen between both of you. And that's what I love, that we did get to see that vulnerability through Joy, because it's so relatable to people like me, and I'm sure other people not like me, you know, military people, just people that have to go away for work. It's something that happens. So
very true. And I definitely meant it in a positive way, because she said she was willing to work on it. And when somebody says that they're willing to work, I understand that energy. And I just believe her when she says like she's all the way up in it. And I love that energy, because I get it.
No, my oh damn wasn't a negative oh damn. It was just like, oh, but we'll get to there one later on, because I know we'll talk about it and stuff.
I was going to ask, like, what was y'all's predictions prior to this episode? Like, each one, like, for each couple, like, Jay, I want you to tell me, like, did you think Dakia and Paul were going to walk away together? Did you think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what were y'all's, because this is the last episode. So, because I know I had a lot of different things going on in my head, but what were you guys thinking? Like, were you like, oh yeah, I know they're definitely going to be together, or no, like, or I'm surprised that they didn't choose each other, XYZ?
Joy and Clifton, definitely, that's no doubt. Carmen and Donovan, you know, we discussed it before, how I seen that their interaction going, as far as they're mirroring each other in body language and all this stuff like that. So I see them yes, going. And I did see them leaving together after time went by, and we started seeing more of them interacting together. Um, Probably not in the beginning when they first got there because we didn't see much interaction between the two. But as I started noticing more things, and he would have her mentioned there from time to time. So she was always there. Um, Dakia and Paul, to be honest, I never really imagined Paul being at the end, to be honest. Dakia, a little bit more so. I would have seen her at the end. But I just I don't really think I ever seen anybody for Dakia since it started. Like just her presence, her energy. I just didn't see her person here.
I agree.
I feel like we
What
can go
about
in
you
order.
guys?
Yeah, definitely Joy and Clifton. That moment that they saw each other, I have this thing where I see like sort of like DNA spiral around people that just like I can sometimes see it. And it was just so obvious to me that they would be walking away together. Just the pieces they're connecting, the puzzle was being put together effortlessly. I definitely did not expect Paul to make it. I thought he was going to be out like the second or third episode too, Jay. I just didn't expect him to make it this far because, like you said, with Dakia, I just don't think he's ever really had a match. And yeah, I'll be nice. That's all. I'll stay with that. Dakia, I just think Dakia is such a wonderful woman that I was hoping that somebody would be there for her, but instinctively, I just knew because of what was there that just there wasn't a fit. So I didn't expect her to get to the end, but toward the middle, I saw how they kept trying to just have somebody of her stature just be in here, kind of similar to Paul. So like production, I felt like they pushed her to the end. It didn't really feel authentic, and that's okay because I enjoy learning more about her. She has such a great story. Carmen and Donovan both came on hot, right? And I loved that. I expected Carmen to get to the end just because she knows how to play the game of life. So I expected that. I didn't know if she would have a connection, but I expected her to play the game well. And I love Carmen. I just like her authenticity. And Donovan, I wasn't expecting that. I saw him and Carmen start to connect the dots a little bit, and it started to make a little more sense. But he was a little like Sabrina 2.0 for me in the sense of like, is he ready? Is he really is he gonna just keep playing the field? Is there a connection? And a little bit like Paul, like jumping from one connection to another just to kind of keep the experience going. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Are we going in order? Is it Kojo or should I?
I think it's Kojo.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, joining Clifton's connection is amazing. I think they've stayed true to the process as well, opened themselves up to date as well, other people, without compromising their actual relationship. I think they handled it quite well. This is how you handle it when you're going through a process and you got to date other people, but you still like the same person. Just saying. But I as you mentioned, Dakia, I think we spoke about this last week. I said maybe she did something. I don't know what it is, but maybe she did something because the guys did not draw towards her. Okay, all right. Now, I'll put it this way. So what I heard from the streets.
Not the streets.
Let me take a sip.
Hold on.
Do you think it has a lot to do with the her and Eric situation?
Yeah, that put it sounds like it put a sour taste in a lot of the men's mind in their mouth. I think the men weren't necessarily happy with the way things went down and transpired. So I think that also contributed towards maybe how they saw her as well. I did hear, quote unquote, she gives off auntie vibes, which then kind of relates to what we were talking about last week, which is it's not perfectly blended. It's unfortunate. This is not her crowd, but she doesn't perfectly blend what she's bringing to the table to the actual audiences with, unfortunately. Maybe if she was in a different crowd, it might be a bit different. But yeah, definitely I think the Eric situation soured things, and then the auntie vibe also caused her to be second best. So she was always around, but she was always seemingly someone's second. which is really, really kind of sad as well. But that's unfortunate, man. I think some of her connections were soured with that particular aspect. But hey, what do I know? Tyrone.
Yeah, I think everything turned out like how I thought it would. I mean, at this point, if Clifton and Joy didn't work, then they might as well not even have no show, right?
True that.
I was 50-50 with Donovan and Carmen. It was at the point where I was like, yo, like how you treat one of the fellas, like, hey, bro, like if you gonna go forward, I'm gonna support you, right? But if it don't work, I'll still go out with you to have some drinks. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for you, black love. Let's get it. If you say you could do it, I'm with you. Clifton, Paul and Dakia. I mean, I didn't see it, but the way everything was going, if they decided to move forward, I wouldn't have been surprised, right? With the way that the production, put in the cliffhangers, the way, they had Tina come back at the end. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have said, all right, let's work towards moving forward. I didn't see it happening. I really, really wish Paul would have been a lot more sincere, earlier, maybe not with Dakia, but just with everyone. I think there could have been a connection there with Paul. But yeah, that's how I saw it going.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tyrone. I wish Paul would have been more sincere earlier, because it means he would have either been gone or a different connection would have been made. As far as predictability, I feel like once the beach house happened, it was wildly predictable to me how this episode 12 was going to end. It was like all laid out, I think, in that beach house episode or lake house. Of course, the Joy and Clifton situation. When I look at Carmen and Donovan, I don't buy it, but I'm not mad at it because it looks like they're dating. Like, not everybody that you date is going to be your husband or your wife. I believe that they're enjoying each other for the moment. They look good. They're having fun. They're probably on the same page and they get to kick it. Like, that's all that I can give them. I'm not seeing like, oh my God. And I'm not getting any feels from it, but forget when you're dating, you go out, you have fun, you take trips, you do whatever, boo up, and then whatever's going to happen. Dakia and Paul, like, no, never saw it. Like, it's actually part of the reason why I'm like, why are they the force of it all and the dragging it out? Because again, I feel like maybe in episode 4, 5, they could have brought in 2 other people or they could have remixed it in a way that made this make sense. But I've been painfully watching Dakia talk about PO for the past 4 episodes and I'm over it. Like, what are we doing? It was like never on the table. But okay, I get it. You got to drag the show out, and it would be weird if it was just 1.5 couples.
Yeah, it seemed like they were using Paul for some good filler throughout the season, and it just really, really showed this last episode.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about all the eliminations? I mean, not eliminations, the self-eliminations. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Because I was thinking about that too, Gus, and I was like, one more elimination, it wouldn't have been no show.
Yeah, it's kind of like with that, like who do they want to make happy, the fans or the producers? Right? Because the fans want true love. The fans don't want you to waste nobody's time, but the show doesn't want you to leave.
Yep.
Right.
So it just depends on who's supposed to be happy in those moments.
Yeah.
Like, do we even care about the cast members' feelings at all? No, right? No. Go make sure you find somebody.
Answer, Tyrone?
Right?
They care about the cast feelings.
I wonder if this format's working for them. We think we've talked about this before, but like, is this format really working for them? Like, how many of us are just over the fact that they forced so many interactions? It's not just us, the people on the show. They were like, peace, I'm done. I don't want to do this. And I feel like that's why, I don't know, I could be wrong, but Tina, right? I feel like she was like, really wanted to self-eliminate. I think a lot of them wanted to probably prior to when they actually did. Production probably just was like, you sign this little piece of paper right here. You got to stay because we need a TV show. But on the contrary, I know lots of reality shows. This isn't in live time, right? And I think it's their job as a production then, when they see this happening, you need to be watching. You need to be very aware and acute to what's happening with these couples. you start throwing curveballs that are going to suit your show lasting as long as you need it to. You bring some other people in. You find other people that didn't get on. Oh, maybe this replace place, blah, 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 blah. That's how production works. I mean, I watch a show called RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's not always the same. Some people actually don't get kicked off and they stay. And this season was like a whole whirlwind, but they still made it work because the production of it is smart in that sense. They figured out how to cultivate a winning solution for the show without the audience getting annoyed by the way they were choosing to move.
And I think, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tyrone.
No, I was gonna try to explain it like in the most nicest way I possibly can, so nobody gets mad. It's kind of underwhelming going in there, but not in a bad way. It's almost like being a kid on Christmas and you have all of these gifts to open. And yes, you like all of these gifts, but once you get to the last gift, you're like, man, I want another one. But then once you get used to it and you don't play with all the toys on day one, you know what I mean? You're kind of like, I want more. So I can see how they were getting and I said this a whole lot nicer than the way Carrington said it. If y'all remember the way he said it on the reunion, do you know what I mean? But I was trying my best to explain why the people would want to self-eliminate, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think the people that did self-eliminate, it was rightfully so. That's it. It made all of the sense and it fell in line. So regardless of the producers, the show, the this, the that, I certainly think that every last one of the self-eliminations were warranted and made like all the sense to me, from Ace to Sabrina and Demetrius. I think Tori didn't self-eliminate. Did he self? No, he didn't self-eliminate. But just it made sense because it was like, there's nothing here. This is not what we're doing. So I wasn't mad at it in that sense because it was like, okay, good, bye. Because there's not like, let's not fake the funk anymore.
I don't think Sabrina would have self-eliminated. I think she self-eliminated because she thought that Demetrius was going to eliminate her.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
That's what I heard in the streets.
Yeah.
100%.
That's insane.
Yeah. We said that, right? I said we said
Allegedly.
She was respectively getting in front of the enemy. Okay, she did it nice and calmly, but she was getting in front of the enemy. That's all.
Allegedly.
Correct.
Allegedly, I heard Demetrius was meant to
Wild
send her
face
home.
off.
She
You
was
could
like,
tell all the men wanted to leave because she was doing she the whole time was having the power over the men, and she was not going to let them have the last word. Like, it was very clear that she was making sure that she still stayed on top of these men, even though they started to figure her out. And he was probably most likely gonna be like, no, but she was like, no. she got that real quick before he could.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like in the
somebody
movies when they say, I think we should break up, and then somebody beats you to it.
right. Because when she walked in, her whole demeanor was like, hey, Demetrius. Oh, my God, it's so good to see you. He was like, I know it's good to see you. And she was just like this. And soon as he was like, well, I talked to Tommy. She was like, oh, well, I've been thinking. I was like, what's she been thinking? Hold on. I mean, even after she was like, yeah, I think, like I'm going to end this journey. He was like, wait a minute. He was even giving her the open door to retract that crap. He was like, no, wait a minute. He was like, that's not what I'm saying. She was like, nope, just in case that's what you're saying and you're going to change it. I'm going to say that's my word and I'm sticking with it.
Here now.
My journey's ending right now.
We're here now. I'm at the exit.
Right.
She
had that look like, is this a setup? No, she was like, I'm not even going to take the bait. I'm not even going to do it. I can't.
I know you're going to tell me I'm not ready to love. Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's a candle for you, Tori. I know. She was doing that the whole time. She was just making sure she had the power. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I tell myself I'm ready to love. Ain't no man about to tell me I ain't ready to love.
Correct.
Right. Exactly. But I really felt like that if he didn't start off by saying, I talked to Tommy, I feel like they would have made it to episode 12. That's just my opinion.
And I wouldn't have been mad at that, honestly. I mean,
me neither.
I wouldn't have been mad at that for what it is.
Yeah.
She probably still told herself at the end, but
right.
Or it could
have been a situation just kind of like say for example, if Dakia and Paul did choose each other, it's kind of like, hey, we just started dating. We're feeling each other. We like each other. We're going to leave this journey together to figure it out. But we know we want to figure it out, because in real life, Sabrina really, really liked Demetrius. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. She liked him. He wasn't given what he was supposed to be given and should have been given in the very beginning. But I think he started to open himself up to the process and really saying, you know, like, I think I might really like her too. Like, she's, you know, hanging in there with me. You know what I'm saying? But I think that with her and her control issues, I think that played a lot of part in it too. And she really didn't feel like she had anything solid and secure. And that's exactly why she started moving the way she was moving, because in her head, she like, ain't nothing valid, ain't nothing concrete, ain't nothing. And because I feel like she does have certain control issues, she probably was like, if I don't feel 100 with it, yeah, I'm just bailing out, because they're not going to leave me on the bridge looking stupid. It was a control thing the whole time.
Question though, but isn't, like, I know that Tommy likes to harp at the end that you guys leave out of this process as a committed relationship, but this is only a couple of weeks to maybe 2 months or something of you guys getting to know each other. I don't see myself really being committed to somebody that soon while I'm still trying to get to know you. So wouldn't it be more like, no matter who the couple is, we're leaving this process to try to get to know each other further, but we want to start that journey? That's really what I'm choosing at the end of this, is me starting this journey with you. That's
how Carmen and Donovan worded things. And I think that Demetrius and Sabrina, if whatever they have going on is a piece of real, then they could still definitely move forward on the journey after the fact.
I feel like they've been there from the beginning. So Demetrius and Sabrina had plenty of time to figure that out. Plenty of time.
Agreed.
2 months is plenty. Yes.
To kind of know, like, I think I like him, or I think I might like her, you know?
Yeah,
like
I want to know more about you.
Cliff and Joy, they about to get married. So yeah, I think it's definitely enough time.
Right.
A lot of
But
people
were
hating on Sabrina, but I didn't really see it that way. Like, Sabrina touched on it a little bit, and to me, it just seems like a lot of the people are mad at Sabrina for wasting dudes' time, and I think it's because, and I mean this in a nice way again, like, women accept like so little from men that when you ask for the bare minimum, which is show me that you like me, it seems like you're asking for a lot. Right? And we just got to find a way to get past that. And I was watching it and I was like, when a dude likes a woman, you should know. Right? Yeah. We never knew that the whole season. We just never knew.
The only person's time I think she wasted was Tori's. That's to be honest, that's the only person's time I feel like, and I mean, that's partly his fault too. And when men waste our time, it's partly our fault because we're hanging on to them. But that's the only part.
Yeah.
But Tori was thoughtful.
Because we're seeing everything, you know what I'm saying? But we don't know what he was seeing. And then sometimes when we're naive and just blindly looking at a person, we're not really picking up all the traits of that person and what they're doing and stuff in that moment, because we're selfishly saying, I want you, I want you, I want you, not thinking, do you want me back?
Yes, I feel you. But remember, it's the game too, right? You got to try to get the votes. And technically, multiple people wasted multiple people's time.
Sure.
Technically speaking, right?
This was number two, baby.
You gotta kind of play it. It wasn't like she hid it from him. You know what I mean?
I think Joy hit the nail on the head. Joy, when she was like to Demetrius, why are you here? Are you really here for the right reasons? I think from the jump, Joy was on that. Right. And I agree with her. I hear what you guys are saying. I politely disagree with you. I don't think there was someone there for him. I think he was there just to play the game. I think it was an ego trip for him. That's just what I gathered from the show and the way he presented himself. And I think Sabrina too. I think they reflected each other perfectly. I think that's why they were where they were.
That's why they were married to each other in outfits.
Fair play,
yeah.
Fair play.
And Kojo, you know what? I do agree with you. On this show, there is always a number two. I mean, that you said it's a game, right? Now in real life, I don't know if I agree with you because, you know, I talk to a lot of my friends who are my age. I'm 40. So like all my friends that are married and stuff like that, there was never a number 2 for them, because when they found love, they were both really ready for it. So they were just, there was no 2, it was 1. So that's why I gather from that experience. From the show, absolutely. That's like y'all say, you're playing a game. I wish it was less of a game, but you guys are right. It is what it is. That's been proven. There are so many people at the end that shouldn't have been there. So well played.
Not Gus saying well played.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome, Stacey.
Big brother.
Hi, Stacey.
Hey, Stacey.
Hi, Stacey. What are you eating over there?
Hi, everyone. It was some jerk chicken. I was trying to slide a little piece in my mouth.
So we are actually discussing, because we're still in the very beginning scene when they are having brunch, when they all met up to meet Tommy for the very last time. And we are discussing now, who were your predictions in the very end with the 3 couples that were left? What did you predict before you actually watched the ending? What did you think?
Well, I mean, it was predictable for me. That's what I saw going to the end for whatever reasons. And I kind of thought that if you fast forward to the end, that's the way PO and Dakia would leave. I mean, it wasn't a big shocker for me.
What about Donovan and Carmen? What are your thoughts on them actually leaving together? Did you kind of think that and assume that they would be a couple? We of course we might as well just leave Joy and Cliff out of this. So,
but the fact that they showed a love story, like how for so many seasons we've envisioned seeing these dots connected and seeing 2 people who truly say that they're still open to the process while they still date others, but still gravitate towards each other again. I mean, it would be remiss if we did not mention those 2 and show the utmost love and support to them. And I'm not saying that anyone here doesn't, but I'm just saying, sometimes when you see the sparks from the beginning, by the end, people aren't really assessing or considering the fact that they still did honestly go through the process. They entertained other people. They gave it a shot, but they still met up with each other at the end. And that was what I was hoping for out of this season. Carmen and Donovan, I saw the sparks. I feel like they have a very physically provoked. And as with time, but that's kind of normal for normal dating people. Sometimes we don't get to know each other until we know what they look like. You know what I mean? And so sometimes when you're dating, you date, it's honest. People base what they like off of what they see and what their visual preferences are. And I think that they liked each other. They saw sparks, and as the sexual or physical tension, kind of got bigger, so we saw their interest in each other. So, I mean, I could see it happen.
Agreed.
I like that point you made, Stacey. I do, about the Donovan and Carmen thing. You're right, because physicality sometimes leads the way to emotional connections as well, and that seems to maybe have been what happened with them.
Right. And I think that it's always people always fake the funk and they act like they don't like what they like. Hey, it's okay for ABCD, Jane Doe, John Doe to like who and what they like. If I like looking over here at Kojo and I'm saying, hey, I like me a little chocolate thunder that do little dances in the middle of the gym and know how to wind them hips, then that's my preference.
Amen.
Are these facts? Are these real things I didn't know about Kojo?
Amen.
Go off.
Kojo don't have nobody coming for me. No. I'm just playing, y'all.
Don't worry, Stacey.
I'm just playing.
That was amazing.
The only person that probably come for you, Stacey, is Courtney. Don't worry.
And I love her anyway.
Sabrina, can you get some of that footage? Can you get some of the winding and grinding at the gym of Kojo and put that on the screen for us?
Yeah, put that on the screen.
I got you, Gus. I got you. Piece of content, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay,
But
so
I mean,
I froze my camera slow winding. My bad. World stop.
world stop. Now carry on. But to continue on what Stacey says as well, you know, who's to know that they haven't had some talk as well and say, hey, I'm not looking for something actual long-term committed, or I'm not even totally looking for something totally committed, but I'm willing to be in this process with you. And it could be vice versa. It could be on Carmen's end. You know, we never know whose end it's on, but they're just like, I got a physical with you. This is what we're doing at this time. Some people are honest like that. And it's just like, I want to have a physical relationship with you, or I want to be good friends with you or whatever, and see how it works out to going into something more. We have to give the fact that Donovan is fresh out of a divorce, so to speak. And I'm not sure how willing he is to really jump into something super, super committed, but going down the process with somebody is something, you know, I think he will explore.
Honey,
Carmen is a
Donovan
great
divorced
person to
for
go through the
like
process with.
Donovan been divorced, boo.
It's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years now.
I think
Well, separated
Sabrina
and
that's
divorced.
been divorced for like 5 months.
Yeah, separated and divorced for almost 2 years, but still, it's still. I'm not. Part of me getting out of divorce, and I'm a woman, so it's going to be a little bit different. Some men might jump in it faster than others. Clifton.
What you say?
Some people like the commitment more so than others, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like I said, it could be Carmen on that end. It could be like, hey, I want somebody to just walk this process with me. And if you can't keep up on my walk, then you just can't keep up. That's how relationships goes. Everybody is expecting them to get married when you guys leave this show. I don't understand. This whole thing is just to have a relationship and start that process of the journey of having more. And, you know, this person might not be that one, and it might just prep you for the next. But at least you're learning something along the way.
Absolutely.
Hear that?
Yeah.
You're right. This isn't married at first sight. We got to remember that this isn't married at first sight. This is ready for love, and love can mean many things. So yeah, I hear you on that.
And how many of them last on that show?
Right. Right.
Dang.
But I do think a lot of people learn from this show, and that's the beautiful thing. I mean, I don't know, but I would assume there's a lot of growth that happens from it, and to me, that's a win. So
yeah. And some of us find our love after the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is also
tell us more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Simone and Rashid are a perfect example of a couple that found love post-show. I think when we saw season 2 with Reva and Mario, how they kind of got together later in the process and post-show, and how that's still those two are still fluid, beautiful relationships. So we know it can happen.
Yeah.
And I just want to say,
Oh
Lord,
it must have been important. It must have been important.
I just want to say,
it's a conspiracy.
What you just want to say? You froze.
We missed the conspiracy.
I just want to say, neither of those two ladies doubled back. You know what I mean? It was something that was an extension. They worked on it. They grew. They went through, you know, their periods. And those are the long-lasting relationships that we're still
Teddy Riley.
to this day.
Oh, she on that cheap Wi-Fi, baby.
Damn.
No, we're having bad weather in Houston.
Oh no,
we are. It's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah. Well, there's one more other relationship too that just happened. So yeah, it definitely.
Oh yeah, there was one more person that, you know.
Afterwards,
the first season is that.
Golly, jeez, Tyrone is actually in here.
Oh,
hey Tyrone.
Tyrone was
I didn't see there, Tyrone, right in the middle. Hey.
I mean, he wasn't jumping.
Oh.
To say his name. Find yours.
We missed it, Stacey.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm one that called the Tyrone fouling someone afterward, though. I saw that through the show he would gain what he needed to find the next situation. So
yeah,
I'm glad that he did. And that's what it's all about. It's about, are you ready for love? Are you going to be able to, like she said, put the work in, step together? Love is about partnership. And it's, are you both really ready for that? And unfortunately, we don't find that shit on the show as much as we should.
Would it help it? I mean, Tyrone, maybe you can give us a little bit of an insight here. You know, I mean, how does this work? Because it's cross season. Should maybe is it worth the show maybe looking at bringing some of the, because obviously they did 2 seasons of DC, 2 seasons of Houston as well. Is it worth maybe looking at that aspect of grabbing a few of them from the past season and the latest season, and maybe in future putting them into another season, maybe kind of seeing? I don't know. Is it?
Honestly, I think that could work, but I think they should invest in people who are really ready to have mature conversations.
There we go.
Yeah. Yes.
But that's the thing.
That's why I watched it.
That's simple.
That's
You also air those things too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to remember, like, production doesn't know us.
Yeah.
So we come in telling them we ready. He ready, she ready, we ready. You see what I'm saying? So they don't know that we not ready until like the 5th episode. They like, he playing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
So
Sabrina, casting should know better. That's what
They
casting is.
should. That's the point. That's
Casting is supposed to be able to pick up on all your little nuances and see if you're ready or not.
They
should be.
Evals.
But they do that. But they don't try to figure out if you've been healed from your past traumas.
Well, it's
or
better TV for
subconscious
them.
Traumas. Yes.
Yeah, they're not.
True.
But we don't want that on the show. That's the whole point. We want to heal people.
You know
What do we want? What do we want?
Like vows that they do, they find people that are like Sabrina and Demetrius and say, let me put them in a room full of other, you know, you find the A-type types, and then you find like other types, and let me see what happens when I put these people together and see what kind of chaos I get, because they're going to get good TV, but it's not beneficial to you guys, which you guys, for the most part, are on there genuinely trying to find somebody.
Right.
The other
it's
thing
always
is,
evident. No, you
they have good footage that would tell a good story. There is plenty of footage on the floor from the people who are no longer on the show. I don't know why they don't play that, just to like let the world know like the love exists. It's just not playing out on the show right now. But it does exist, so people could still have hope, you know, other than the 3 couples that are left. And if you ain't happy with those 3 couples, that's what you're left with, as opposed to saying, yes, these 3 couples are here, but I know that love is possible based on all of these other conversations that aren't being shown on the screen right now. Or at least I think they could have an episode of like maybe a behind the scenes, what we missed. You know what I mean?
I think that would be
Ready to Love.
Really good.
Yeah,
it's
Ready
a
to
lot
Love.
of footage, guys.
Uncut. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking.
Stuff like
Like
that.
you don't even have that. Yeah, that'd be awesome if they did. We'd invest in that. You know, I think part of it too, they might want to change up the style a little bit. Maybe each year they have like 3 men going after like so many women, or in the next year maybe 3 women going after so many men, and that be it. Hi,
She can't hear y'all, but I told her to come say hi.
Oh, sorry, I saw from behind you, Tyler. What was that?
Yeah.
Doing an awesome job. Y'all are.
Thank you, Ace. I appreciate it. I'm working hard out here.
Thank you, Ace.
Not you working by yourself right now.
She really is shy, though. She is shy. We're working on that.
I love
limit
that.
the option. I don't want to limit all the couples, because then it kind of, you know, if they started self-eliminating, we ain't gonna have no show. But like limit maybe one party, like either the men or the women, one season, and then the next season maybe alternate, something like that, because it might help. So then we'll get more of them literally having real conversations. They'll have to do it. It'll be less drama from certain things. Maybe it'll probably be more on the one that has a majority of them there, but you know, we'll probably get more in depth and make more genuine connections that way. I don't know. It's just trying to throw out some things for them to probably work on.
And even if the show focused more on like a little bit of what everybody said, pick up some of the stuff that's on the floor, discuss the journey, because I would actually be okay with more couples not working out and not seeing this magical love thing if we were getting a full in-depth understanding of the growth. Like for you, Tyrone, it would be nice, honestly, to see exactly what you learned, what it taught you, what scene can we go back to with you as watchers, where you got to turn around in your mind about something specific that led you down a different path, that because this is a journey. So the fact, I think it's possible, and the fact Ready to Love is beautiful, and I think it says in the title, and that doesn't always mean ready to love, boom, here's my husband, but it is this journey. And even going more in depth about the meat and potatoes, about what people are going through personally, because you know, Gus and I had a chance to talk to Tori, and he said the same thing. He's like, what about when I did this? And the deep conversations about that, they left it surface to like shots and chaos and like crap talk. And it's just like, yeah, I would have loved to see a little bit more in depth just about the journey itself. So that way, when you pop up on Instagram with whoever, whatever, we're like, oh, we saw that. I'm glad he pushed past that, or, you know, something to root for you guys, you know, something like that.
Something I like that.
We do need something like that. You know what I mean? The show, I don't know if you guys remember watching Love Goals, was on OWN actually about 2 years ago, and they worked with a therapist, Spirit. And look, I think Ready to Love could benefit from that. I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? Because at least then we can see your growth. You know, some of you are mad, and we're gonna have you on the show, and you are mad. That's fine, all right. Some of you passed the psych, I don't know how, but you got there. We're gonna put you with a therapist, and we're gonna see your journey, because we need to see something. Because it's at the moment it's failing bad. Like, you got Love Is Blind having more couples already in 2 seasons than we have in Ready to Love the whole entire thing. That don't make no sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like. It's problematic. We got Ultimatum already. They already got 1 or 2 couples already. Like, at the marriage stage, like, we need to do something different. They need to seriously look at what their success levels are, because it is appalling. We've had 6 seasons, if that, even a bit more. So something needs to just change in the way they're doing it. If you want to have crazy people on, I ain't got no problem with that. Get a therapist in there. Let's get a therapist in there. Do you know what I mean?
Some Dr. Nicole.
Change your name to Ready to Be Sane.
Yeah.
Tiffany. I don't know who else, man. Just somebody.
Yeah. I think another thing that could help is if they ask the cast and say, hey, if there are 2 or 3 scenes that we didn't get that you want to put in there, let us know.
That'd be nice.
And then have like a scenes that's requested by the cast, right? And then have the cast explain something and get it off their chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, production is they're talking to the high heads that none of you have even seen, and that's
do we need to produce our own show?
Right, but what's stopping them from putting up a YouTube channel?
We also need to produce a show
specifically for that, right?
Yeah.
What's stopping them from putting up a YouTube channel specifically for that, for clips?
What's stopping us from producing our own show?
What's stopping?
How about that?
Right.
No, that's that. Because I've actually heard people say that they actually don't even watch the show. They wait for the panels, and they get more enjoyment out of the panels than they do actually watching the show.
Yeah. Because it's getting contrived a little bit, isn't it? So it just needs to have a little twist now, a little change in there, whether it's somebody coming in. Because also I'm like, then I also look at Tommy's role, and I'm like, his role is not necessary. So no offense to him, it's just not necessary.
So
yeah. For what we see.
I have an idea. Don't vote nobody off for the first week. Let have these events for the week. At the end of the week, put everybody in the same room, discuss who they like, and just put it all out on the table. Do you know what I mean? Like, as adults, be like, I like this person or I don't like that person. Then in the end, you have 8, 9 couples max, and then let them follow that journey. So you can be like, hey, we went out for a week. You all got to talk to each other for a week. You realize who you liked and who you didn't like. This is who you decided to go with. If it don't work, it's on y'all. You know what I mean? Boom.
I like that, Tyrone. Don't eliminate so quickly, because I think of some of the people in the beginning. I don't remember that woman's name in the little black dress, but there could have been more hope for some people, even though it was a little whatever. We just didn't get to see enough of them to really marinate in a situation long enough to see who could be what, where, and anything. So fast. So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're making people have options. Do you know what I mean? And people, obviously, they're not being upfront about who they like because they know that they need to keep options. But if you take the options away, then I think they could really focus on who they would want to work it out with. And if it don't work, we're all adults. It didn't work. You know? That's what I would do.
I hear that.
So we have Tommy entering into the room, and his picture was just up there, but I'm not going to put that up. But Tommy does come into the room, and he lets them know that Demetrius and Sabrina have ended their journey. Carmen is on green screen, and she says, quote, "Demetrius, don't go. Sabrina, I don't really care." So let's just hit on that for a minute.
I think she meant that. I mean,
Hey, I meant that.
really simple. I'm not mad at her. She's cool with Demetrius. Like I said on her Instagram, she's always like, my boys. Like, they had a relationship. It was cool. She seems to get along with dudes just a little bit better anyway. And I just think she was being 100, very much candor.
I had her sentiments at that moment. You know, I was like, I mean, I looked at myself in that moment, and I would probably be the same way. You're my competition, so I'm not mad at your leaving or whatever. My boy, we made a friendship. Competition, I'm not going to worry about you. Bye. Bye-bye. So, you know, it was an honest moment, like Jamie said.
But it makes it feel like a competition. It takes the genuineness out of it, though. You know.
But in real life,
I mean, that's what it is. It is what it is.
So they put us in this predicament, and that's what it is.
And
unfortunately.
I think they need to just let the eliminations come a little bit later on. That's where the real madness happens. You know, that's where you want to see how people want to be. Let people start forming emotional connections, then start eliminating. Let's see what happens then. Pooh! Then we're gonna get some. You want TV? That's TV for you.
That's TV.
But let's at least get that first connection. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you know what would be real exciting? If the show just goes on, and people just stay. And guess what? Because the person doesn't have an elimination, they have to self-eliminate themselves.
So another thing, Kojo, you mentioned that the emotional connections, how I feel about that to really, really have some chaos is to not have no group events until later on in the week. Where people have developed those connections. Now you get to see how they act when multiple connections are in the same room.
People gonna start
now
crying,
we see what's up.
I'm here for it, Jamie. I'm here for it.
That's the kind of carnage I want to see.
People gonna start crying.
Navigate that.
Let's get it.
And they need to bring Carmen back.
Yeah.
Right.
Day 1, day 2, you could blow that off. You could be like, yeah.
Bring Carmen back. You gonna see her face every time.
It's kind of like the ultimatum, though. They're creating chaos intentionally because the bonds are so
that was
strong.
Insane.
So that's kind of pieces of all different shows put together, which would work. Taking pieces.
Yeah.
No,
I was gonna say I was gonna agree with you, bro. I was gonna say that's ultimatum has shown us the kind of carnage that you want to see, which is that I'm saying good carnage. This is good carnage. This is the good carnage I want to see. Like which literally you've given them 3 weeks. All right, go and settle that person. Because in 3 weeks you can really get a connection with somebody and get to know that person. Do you know what I mean? So something similar like that with RTL would be good, you know, or maybe even small pocket of a group. They go away and there's another pocket, group 1, group 2, and they don't come back together until maybe 2 weeks later. I mean, something like that, and see. Maybe you will like someone in your group 1, but then you realize when group 1 and group 2 come together later on, oh, maybe I want to switch. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give us something, because right now we die in the line.
Yeah.
I hear all of you and how you want all this chaos, and I support it because I watch the ultimatum. I watch the chaos. It's fun. I love it. But I would really enjoy a show that's not based on chaos, and we're just really watching people through their journey. That's why I signed up to watch this show last season, and why Jamie and I did. We're both, she's almost 40, I'm 40. We were trying to watch mature people fall in love and really watch an authentic, valuable process. And that's not happening anymore. So what I would like, and like I said, I'm going to have to produce it myself, is a show that actually is that. That's not a blend of all these other shows that are already out there creating chaos. Love it, like I said, but there's enough chaos in the world as there is. Can we just have something that carries intention for really like manufacturing genuine love and authenticity in this world? That would be a great thing. I know it sounds fairy tale-ish and far-fetched, but I do think it's still a reality for a lot of people.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But until
If you need help,
It needs to be the intention of things. Like, we're intentional about it when we date and when we talk to people. So why not have that reflected in the television show? There's enough there to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say until you create it, Gus, the only thing you're gonna be able to watch is Black Love right now, sweetie. For that, that's about the only thing. You gotta watch it.
Black Love does a good job of
after they have their connection already.
Do it. Love that.
What,
yeah.
Black
I'm
Love
on it
show?
as we speak. So I look forward to doing a panel with y'all about the show I'm about to make.
Yes.
So that'll be fun.
Call it, Is We Grown or Nah?
I got a great name, but I can't tell you because someone might take it. But it's good.
Hey, bro.
Make us have those conversations.
We'll be waiting for it. We'll be waiting for it so we can talk about your show.
Yeah, no, you're with you, bro. You're with you.
Okay, so I heard.
Welcome back.
I had y'all. I could see the comments on my phone. Like I was watching y'all on my phone until my computer reloaded. Sorry about that. It had to totally restart. But I think y'all are being so friendly. And I mean, Tyrone just said, are we grown or not? I mean, like some of the things that we saw are indicative of like, it speaks to who these people really are at times. And I think that I'm out here trying to date. And it's a level of toxicity that I either have to bypass or shove aside to get to who I'm trying to find. Like the toxic carnage is real. And what we're also seeing play out before our eyes are like the things that our girlfriends, some of the stories they don't tell us about people, or the things our best guy friends are too ashamed to tell us about a date he went on with somebody that didn't want to eat the food and didn't want to talk and showed up 15 hours late. No shade. I'm serious, not shade, but I'm saying this is one of the things that we saw happen this year, like that played out on TV. So I just think that the key to it, when we get to where the precipice, like where we need to be, it'll be where we get that perfect meeting of the perfect and the storm, and it comes together. Because journeys aren't, people have baggage, people have stories, I hate that people are confusing the word trauma for toxicity. That's allowing them not to be responsible or be held accountable for their toxic behavior. And just because you cry after being toxic don't mean it's trauma. Let's just call it what it is.
Preach.
Well, that's going to need Kojo's idea of putting a therapist up in there, a relationship coach or a relationship specialist, and have them after dates break down what happened on the dates and what they saw from their opinion of the date and vice versa. And then, they compare the notes and go from there or whatnot.
Yeah.
So there we go. Listen, production, we all brainstorming for y'all. This supposed to be y'all.
Right. We need to check.
That's why I was like, y'all need to quiet.
We need to start getting paid. This is just mad.
Yeah, 100%. All that. That's why I'm like, zip.
Write this down, Gus.
Exactly.
Look at Dakia enjoying that hug.
Real friendship.
Dakia is in tight with that hug. Look at that hug.
Carmen.
No, look at
That's Carmen and
No, I'm looking in the
behind,
back.
y'all.
No, the back.
And Clifton.
that's Dakia and Cliff.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Sabrina, please tell me you got the other hug
Carmen
too.
and Joy.
She's enjoying that hug. Look at it.
Really wait for that hug, honey.
You have the hug with Paul?
I do not.
Oh,
She said, "Come in close."
because the hug with Paul was a side hug. It wasn't.
I was getting ready to say when they were walking away from each other. I mean, leaving the scene or whatever. Yeah,
that was a side hug. Even he walked with her, and she didn't give a hug like that. That was eyes closed. She's embracing, smelling, and everything. She.
Honey,
Who are you talking about? I didn't hear
Him.
it.
That's chemistry.
This is the last time.
because she really liked Cliff.
She did.
Talking about
Really liked Cliff.
He's a sexy man. Who would? I mean,
Can
he's
I
a
say
big
something?
dude.
I mean,
That's exactly what I was
I
just
saw
gonna
him.
say.
I went to DC a couple weeks ago, and I met Cliff, and I can see what Joy sees.
Oh, is it like that?
A lot of
I
women
mean,
see.
Cliff doesn't. I don't know. Cliff doesn't do it for me, but I get it. I get why these women are like literally gaga over him.
Does it for
Exactly.
me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's not my personal type that I would be attracted to, but he's a very attractive guy.
Absolutely.
And I can see why women would appreciate him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this genuineness, like this authenticity about himself, his aura that
I like that.
Tyrone, don't be moving back and forth in your chair.
Tyrone, sit still with Jay talking.
And I was just thinking.
You know I'm a Virgo and I can read a room, honey. I'm reading your.
I was just looking at Stacey for the last time, thinking this might be the last time we hear her speak. Boy, the way you talk about Clifton, Joy gonna have your neck, boy. Better relax.
That's her man.
I'm
only playing with you. I'm only playing with you.
I'm like, I respect and adore what they have.
100%. Felt that way. Yeah. Okay. So you guys like to point out that there was nobody there for Dakia, is what the consensus seems to think. I disagree. I think Clifton showed that there was definitely interest there, and that was more along the lines of someone that actually would work for her. There just weren't enough Cliftons. There weren't enough people that carried experience and all the things that someone like Dakia is gonna need. Because I don't get auntie vibes from her. I get grown woman wife vibes from Dakia personally.
Is we grown or not?
Is we grown or not?
She's overgrown. It seems like.
Maybe. I mean, I do think she needs to release the control a little bit. She still is trying to control because of her own fears and for her own safety. She's still not really completely open, but I do think that she opened up with Clifton, and that's probably more of the disappointing aspects of why she's smelling him real hard right now. It's because she was like, I gave myself to somebody, I let go of control, and it didn't work out.
Correct.
It's
hard.
Why are you hugging me like that? You know I can't get this all the time.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna cry. Just hold me tighter.
Yeah.
Last time I'm gonna get
this. Put that in a bottle. Put that in a bottle and spray it on her pillow at night.
Right.
You're like, give me a hug. No, stop.
She better use that hug to manifest another one for herself.
Listen, that's a messy ass hug. Thank you and goodbye.
I knew that was the last one she was getting from him, so she's like, I'm about to
because y'all trying to play acting like she trying to get the last of Clifton. That's the last to Joy. Y'all saw Toxic like I read. Goodbye. Y'all playing.
Virgo.
I need y'all to quit playing today. Today is Monday. Today is Mean It Monday.
I told y'all she was gonna come with me.
Yeah, I was like,
wait, Jay, let's not miss. I saw your Instagram. Loving that hair growth testimony, baby. You better plan it just in time for the summertime, baby.
I said I ain't gonna have to say nothing because Stacey gonna save it for me.
You gonna sit here.
And it's been past 30 minutes, Jay. I'm really like, okay.
I'm waiting for a specific spot right now, you know. Somebody on purpose. Somebody brought shame to my name, and I have to speak on it. Okay, I am offended.
Well, I wasn't gonna let them play with you today. So
thank you, thank you.
Team Grow.
Somebody brought shame to my name.
Now I'm really excited.
I'm a mute for that.
All right.
I'm really excited.
I got a couple of pictures of Donovan for you guys.
Different angles.
Oh no, not that. I meant Joy's drama.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
I was getting ready to say I don't know because I think Jay even was a couple.
But
I was like,
no, Donovan looks good here. Donovan looks.
He should have put on a
good,
chain or like he's missing. Like to me,
I know he means
have
Stacey.
a stylist.
He was just
he would have set it off.
He was a bit too relaxed to me.
Yeah,
it's not,
to me,
he was
her
to visit
parents
parents at the house, but you know,
yeah.
it is what it is.
And they're older.
Carmen will sort that out. Don't worry. Carmen will sort that out.
That's what they said about Cliff's outfit, and I thought he looked sharp. I mean, he was
living.
Don't worry. Carmen gonna get him together.
I was about to say it might just be because I'm from the South, and you know how we are. We be like, oh, if you coming to meet mama, hold up, and it ain't a picnic. You might need to put a collar on.
Yeah.
Your
Cliff
little
with that
cross
trench on,
chain.
he know how to, you know, jazz it up a little bit, you know. Although that outfit to see the sister was a little different, but
sister, yeah.
There's too many rumors going around about him, about other things, people not worrying about him being authentic and stuff. And I feel like if those things were true, if we're not really seeing the real him, I think doing too much would be kind of, I think it's more safe for him to keep it simple is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. His whole demeanor was, let me keep it simple with this whole date, really. He was like, I'm me. This is where I'm coming from. I'm going to talk to her about what I got going on. But hey, mom, hey, dad, but I'm me. Like, so I get it. His whole vibe says this.
I'm pretty sure, like, once he realized this is a military dad, he probably should have done his research for meeting her parents.
Yeah.
So real quick, guys, Donovan is in this scene. Donovan is meeting Carmen's parents. Her mom is a preacher and she will cut you. And her dad is ex-military Marine and he don't play. And Donovan shows up for flowers, with flowers for her mom. And mom says that he got 100 points and his dad says, or her dad says, and don't lose them. Okay, let's keep them. You know, I got to read my notes. You know what I'm saying? I be working hard. You know what I'm saying?
I was here for that.
Yeah, me too.
I need her dad for my dates. My dad
fully
don't do it that much.
I feel like my dad holds that energy, so maybe I'm gonna have to start bringing my dad on some dates. And he's a retired Marine as well. Maybe it's a Marine thing.
I want to
take cool, but he's gonna ask. Yeah,
I want to take Donovan to one of my children's next PTA meeting or soccer practice. Like that. He can go to the grocery store with me too.
Is that all? Is that all he can do with you?
What else? He can pump your gas.
That's absolutely all he could do with me.
He can pump your gas, girl.
Because he's not my type either.
Me neither.
Right.
No,
okay, so I think
he's a handsome, attractive man. But
y'all said Donovan's not your type?
No.
Kojo, she said chocolate already.
Kojo, hold up. Kojo.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Stacey. Don't play with me now, Stacey. You know.
Wait, y'all, I'm really just be playing.
I ain't playing. That's what I'm saying. Stop playing.
Yeah.
You got all the emotions. You got all the emotions and all the miles of playing to do.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll take a plane trip. Don't worry, man.
Question, Kojo, what sign are you? When's your birthday?
I'm a Cancer. I'm June 24th.
Oh, that's a real good match right there. That Virgo and Cancer situation.
Is that a good match? I didn't know that. Is it? I don't know about these things. Is that a good match?
Virgos love a water sign.
Y'all want us to cry too dang much. I don't cry like that.
I need to get
He'll do the crying.
I need to get into emotion.
No, they try to crack us. They try to crack us and make us emotional and stuff.
If he tries to crack you, he gonna crack himself. I'm sorry. The shell's just gonna crack.
And this is me. I knew you were trying to do this, damn it. I'm an ugly crier. I hate you. I'm blocking you.
That's so dead.
Anyway, sorry, we were talking about Donovan, weren't we? Sorry, guys.
Stacey want the mineral.
You got the mineral. Oh, you just came from Ghana. Where you came from? You done brought me some.
I came from SA.
Motherland.
SA, South Africa. Yeah. But we're in Ghana in December, so you guys should come through. Donovan. Donovan. Donovan.
With Donovan's mom and Carmen's parents. That'll be the show right there. They just need to be vetting all the contestants out. They need to have them go to them and ask the questions.
Right.
That's good.
Their parents.
Carmen's mom put him on heat.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I need to know your face, sir.
Don't do what you did last time. I was like,
I don't care about you. I don't care about your religion. I need to know if God is in you.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Because if he's not, I'm going to be for him. That's what she's looking like right now. She stares at him.
Honey, I loved it. Every minute of it. I loved it.
I will gather you together with prayer, sir. Oh, gracious.
Tyrone, okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add to this conversation? You've been mighty quiet on this one.
Oh, damn.
Nah, I was actually waiting for the moms, because the moms is going to give it away, right? Especially about Carmen. And moms was laser focused on Donovan. And I know how it came out on screen, but it didn't seem like she was, 100% in.
By the end, she seems like she was, but I think Donovan gets away with a lot because he's cute. So I think a lot of even naturally women, like even her mother, lean in a little bit. Like, well, I think he's great. And it's like, he gave you a few smiles and chuckles and laughs and answered decent enough. I think being good looking for him played more of a part than actually being a quality fit for her daughter. But then again, I didn't see the whole dinner, so I don't know. But that's just what I'm getting.
Well,
Absolutely.
So real quick, Donovan mentions he has an 11-year-old daughter and a son 16, because the father does ask like, what happened with his past relationship, just real quick, just to kind of give the chat also to an insight. And Donovan does mention that he does have an 11-year-old son 16 with different women, and pretty much that might be an issue, or will it be an issue for Carmen? Will Carmen have the ability to discipline them? Donovan also mentions that he steps out on his last marriage, and the dad wonders, will he do the same to Carmen? He made the same promise pretty much to his ex-wife. So he like, you made the promise to your wife, like you didn't even live up with your wife. So what made me think that you're going to be able to do that with my daughter? Donovan says pretty much he feels compelled. If he feels compelled to cheat again, he'll just walk away. Carmen pretty much says that he will not walk away, that he will limp away. Yeah. And of course, his mom asks about his faith at that moment. He says that he feels that, or I feel personally that with that statement and what he said to her, that he sealed the deal with moms and pops and pretty much everyone. And that's when his father goes to give him a high five, and his father pretty much wishes him the best and has like that moment with them. So
I'm gonna take the mic like Riley Curry on this one.
Ooh.
Donovan.
And Riley.
Putting it on mute.
Donovan, you my boy and all, but ever in your life that thing come out your mouth when a dad asks how you not gonna cheat on my daughter, and you ever let that come out your mouth again, saying we got it, long as we have a communication, we made a bond to each other, bro, that does not work, especially when you already have been the one who stepped out of your marriage. You made a commitment before God for that. So yeah, broke your bond there. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you. Okay. I understand that editing highlighted that part and you came back and fixed it, but the words came out of your mouth. You fixed your mouth to say that in the first place. Okay. So that right there, you got a kid. Don't do that. Cause then you're telling her that, okay, long as me and my boy got a bond, we okay. No, understand you probably did your work, you did all this stuff like that. And that's for the audience out there. Don't let that come out your mouth. What should come out your mouth is, I have done the work. I understand, if I'm not happy in a situation, I communicate with this person. And then if we can't resolve the issue, I'm walking out. I'm leaving this situation. And me and her have that understanding. Okay. I can't control this. Editing probably said what they said. It is what it is. But we heard it. Terrible. It was trash. Trash. I'm sorry. Love you still, though. Okay.
Please don't apologize, Jay.
Don't apologize. But that, to me, let me be the villain here then finally. Finally get it, Wink. I feel like that's maybe what he was actually saying, everything that you're saying. Am I wrong? Like, I feel like that's what he's trying to say.
Even though those words came out in that form, so it's not like we could sit there and say you never said that. The first thing out of the mouth should have been, and the only thing is, I have done the work. And long as me and my partner have this understanding, they know that I'm going to check out before.
I say, you're saying be more specific and detailed.
It's just the whole wording of it. And I know that question right there, it's pressure. It's pressure. You got a hardcore dad is really like, no, for real.
On the spot.
And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of us probably would have came out with that same thing. Oh, we got to understand, on the spot. It probably word vomit would have came out right then and there. But that's when you really sit down and you just take your time and really give that real answer. Like, I've done my work. I understand the mistakes that I've made in my past. I know what it was. Even with my relationship, I knew what was going on. I made those decisions. And give editing very little, because the cameras are still on you. I know you tend to forget, but the cameras are still on you. Regardless, this is being recorded. So I don't want to give them too much to play with on those type of situations. Like, the sexual innuendos and all that stuff, I might play with you guys a lot more on that. But when it's the serious nature of me not doing this and repeatedly, check in, Stacey.
I put my church finger up since this was the scene, since the pastor is on here. I think one thing that we're missing that I think worked for Carmen's parents, which were totes adorbs. I absolutely love them. They remind me of like one of my aunts and uncles, you know, is that when you have a couple that's been together, so, you know, as long as they have, or, you know, a mother and father duo, one is a good cop and one is a bad cop. So I can get you make an agreement. All right, we ain't gonna be two of one way and two of the other, because that's how you can expose people's vulnerabilities. And so I think they played it perfectly, the good cop and the bad cop. I think being the good cop was a little bit hard for Carmen's mom because she looks like she can really bring some fire if she wanted to. And I think that this was, you know, really a true testament of when you love your daughter and want the best for her, like the things that you'll do for your children. Regarding Donovan, like I agree with you, Jay, to a certain degree. In that moment, like this is something for you guys. I'm speaking directly for you. Hell, to y'all ladies too, because we be messing up and we be having to explain ourselves. For me, something that will work for me and my mom is that don't put the emphasis on someone else in their past. Talk about, while I have had a lot of growth, I value your daughter. I value this person. This person has brought out these things in me. These are things that I respect and I honor in him or her. And this is why I think things would be more, you know, would be different with this person. You know, you want to say why you wouldn't do it to their something, as opposed to what happened back then. Like we all have a past. Women have cheated, men have cheated. Let's be real about this stuff. I mean, the emphasis shouldn't be that he has two kids with two different, you know, mothers, because some of us, we have one kid with one father, and we would heartbeat away from having the second one and was saved. Something happened, you know what I mean? So like, especially when they're older too, because now this is a day and age, and you know, and in his defense, also in Donovan's defense, my children are older as well. You don't need to discipline them. They're already who they're gonna be. They're good, respectable children. We ain't changing diapers over here. I mean, unless something get popping off with me and you, but you know, ain't no diapers around here. We 10 years, 11 years from diapers, ain't seen one and barely saw one then. But if you want to keep it in the affirmative and keep the focus on why you're different and why she's better for you, talk about those things, like why you value the other person. I think that would have been a more satisfying answer to some of us.
Definitely for me.
I'll speak for myself, and I would say the fellas, but maybe not, and maybe some women as well. If he would have said everything you just said, Stacey, to me, that would have seemed a little too much and played out. I wouldn't be able to trust that, because then my initial thought would go, I'm sure he said this to the other person's family as well. How can I trust that this is authentic this time? So there's a part of me that really appreciate that he kept it short and sweet and just to the point, because then that's easier for me to kind of digest and wrap my head around all of everything else that doesn't need to be said, essentially, at least at the gathering of us meeting for the first time. Then if you start to meet up more and more and more, you get to know each other, then you sprinkle in the details, you become more vulnerable, you let this relationship really ensue its natural state. But to say all that up front at the very first time, I would be like, I don't know, that seems really well thought out. Did he do the same thing to this last one? Is my daughter in danger of receiving the same thing? Because there's a defense to it, as opposed to a standing in his truth and his self of what he's bringing at this moment.
But what
I loved his mom.
What he said wasn't satisfying either. It was
it wasn't that. The second part of what he said was satisfying to me.
Apparently was satisfying though, because the mom was sold and the dad was sold at the end. Like they both liked him.
Yeah, the second part of it was satisfying to me when he was just like, you know, I've done the work and I know that I would check out before. That answer right there would have been the best one, but the other one before then, the other one before then was a problem.
But I mean, I don't want to be, maybe I'm just having a cultural difference because I know we're from different regions and, you know, of the world. I'm from the South, and like, I don't want to be reminded about your ex. I don't want to be like, we know you cheated, you admitted that you cheated, you manned up about it. Let's move on. Like, tell me, like, this is you telling my family why you're digging me. And I think, like, personally, like, my parents, they wouldn't want to hear about, if they knew you cheated, they would want to know, okay, you cheated, you got through it. Now what you want with her?
I think
but that's
all
not
of
how
you
his
guys
dad presented
have
the
a
question.
I think you guys all have a perfect blend of an answer, but I guess for more vulnerability and maybe even connection with the dad, he might have been able to go more in depth on himself. It's not about the ex. It's not about Carmen. How are you, Donovan? Where was your headspace then? And what couple of things did you pinpoint within yourself that you could share here? I mean, because I agree with what you guys are all saying. I don't really have too much in depth on it, but I'm like, okay, well, if he's going to answer in something full and more meaty, there could have been more weight to it. If he just talked about himself and his journey and maybe got even a little bit more vulnerable about his mistakes and how he's moved past that and what it means to him as a man, as opposed to, because him and Carmen aren't committed. So it's like, I don't know, how much can he really say, you know?
That's right. Yeah, I think you and Gus brought some good points.
Go for it, Tyron. Sorry, my bad.
No, I was gonna say, in Donovan's defense, I don't think any of us are experts at explaining to other people's parents, you know, how we stepped out in our previous marriages, right? So I felt like a lot of things were like under pressure for him. Carmen's there; she's backing her power with her powerful chain on. You know, so she's feeling comfortable. She pretty much threw him into the fire. Mom's is sitting there looking like she could see through his soul, right? And then the pops is there just straight up asking him questions. So it came off as like the last thing that he wanted to do is tell a lie, because eventually they're going to find out, right? Yes, I feel like he could have like said it, kept it light, talked about what he learned from it and what he's going to do to be a better person from all of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about it.
I guess I even did a video on actually this particular question, and I said I wasn't satisfied with his answer. If I'm the dad, I'm saying to Carmen, don't even think about it. Sorry. If that's what answer you gave, I said, so don't even dream about it. Because whenever someone cheats, I'll give you an example. Demetrius actually gave us a solid answer. And it's just key words. When someone cheats, the question you have to ask yourself is why. If you can't give me a why, then get out of it. You haven't figured it out. Go back and figure it out. Until then, don't come for my daughter. Because you're going to do the same thing again. Yeah. Right? You saying you're going to leave, it's not enough for me. Yeah, you'll leave. You could have left the first time. Right, so I got no beef with Donovan. Donovan knows already. I love him, so I already knows I've talked about it. But I'm saying, like, if that was the answer he gave, I'm not asking for the perfect answer. I'm not asking for a therapeutical answer. I'm asking for someone who has sat down with himself and said, you know what, I was stupid, and this is why I did what I did. That's all. It's just a why of, look, I made a mistake. Taking look, and I always talk about this because people come on the show and we talk about interviews. It's the same thing. It's accountability. Look, I made a mistake. I was foolish when I was young, and I was looking at and then saying, listen, hey, when I sat down myself and I reviewed it, this is what happened. I didn't do this enough. All right, cool, fantastic. But you just saying you're gonna leave if communication's not there? I'm like, yeah, thank you, Carmen. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even dream about it.
I got something totally different. I
did too.
I felt like Demetrius has been
in
way more situations where he's had to explain it. Therefore, he knows how to explain it better.
Yep,
maybe that's why he has that good answer.
That's what I got.
He got that ready-made answer going. Yeah, I was.
I
love his answer.
He had the answer when he knew he was coming on the show. Be real about it. You know,
an episode. Tyrone, that's the answer. You're father of a daughter. How would you have accepted that?
So, like, I know I'm probably getting deep, but there is an apology acceptance quiz, and everyone accepts apologies different
ways. Yeah.
Yes. For me, I would just, at a minimum, own up to it. Right? Do not lie to me, and just tell me what the plans for the future are. As long as your plan for the future is to be better, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
Oh, he should have said that one sentence. You know, it didn't end well. You know, there was some infidelity in my marriage. I wish I were in a place as a man where I didn't allow that to happen. I've grown and I'm truly sorry, and I'm taking each day that I can to be the best man that I can be.
And
I
you know,
like
Tyrone and Gus.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Tyrone and Gus, thank y'all for giving them a script.
Yeah, right.
I'm about to say, because I'm not about to give them one. I got some, but I ain't about to give it to y'all. Y'all get that.
Yeah.
But then in Tyrone, but then in Donovan's defense, he also mentioned that there were things that happened that led up to him prior to him. And for real, she could have cheated, but he didn't want to throw his wife under the bus. Like, we don't know what happened and the reasons why. Maybe they hadn't had sex in 13 months. You know, I mean, we just don't know the reasons why. I mean, there's always three sides to a story as well. And that's the first thing that I thought is, you know, when he did mention that. So,
well, I'm definitely giving him credit, because it's been, over 5 years since I'm divorced, and I still ain't got an explanation about this shit.
I think his answer was perfect.
He gave it to the daddy in 2 minutes. Shit, I'm still
did. Well, he's fresh out of it, though. It could be because he's fresh out of it that he knew how to snap into it quick. When it's longer, it takes, sometimes we forget. We're like, I actually don't remember what happened. It was 5 years ago. He's like 2 weeks ago. He was like, well, this happened 2 weeks ago. It's fresh. Let's move forward.
Baby, they know. They always know. They always remember, because you're going to remember when you lose me. You're going to remember when you lose me.
Go off. I think you gave a good answer. I think a mature answer too. Her and I will talk about it, because there is a certain point too, though, y'all. I love that we're giving parents all the praise and the kudos and the flowers we should be giving them, but we are grown adults and this is our relationship. I know our parents want the best for us. I know we want our parents to see a representation of that goodness, but at the end of the day, that's going to be how you and me communicate in the way that we move. So I liked for me, it felt very comfortable and secure. It was kind of like giving them that sense. It's like, yes, you guys are going to be a part of this because this is her life, but this is going to be between me and your grown-ass daughter that's a woman, and I'm a grown-ass man. We're going to communicate accordingly. I appreciated that, because I think that's necessary.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I think it's important that dads get involved, because men are bastards. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Okay, men are absolute bastards, right?
Agreed.
And even as a son myself, yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, I'll be real with you. I actually agree with you guys. Part of me agrees with you that, because there's a part of me that loves independence, but I've learned from dealing in relationships. Listen, having that elder person who's sensible, providing they are sensible, and you know your parent if they're sensible or not. Okay, some of you parents, you know they're not sensible, so you can only take their advice so far. But if you've got sensible parents who you can see a loving relationship with, their eyesight is completely different to yours, and their recommendation should be important if they are sensible. And a good parent would never tell you what I just said a minute ago, which is don't marry him at all. We're like, look, my recommendation is I don't think this is going to be the best relationship for you. I'm going to be honest with you. What I've seen, here's X, Y, and Z. I'm going to support you if you take it. But, you know, so you were right. Yeah, you don't want to be you can't be an overbearing parent that says no. It has to be, hey, what I'm seeing, this is not particularly, I personally wouldn't roll with this particular thing that I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing an X, Y, and Z, and I don't think that really works, but I will support you regardless of your decision making from here. So you have to allow that person autonomy to maneuver. Otherwise, like you said, that person will just rebel and they will just end up doing what you don't want them to do. So I agree with you on that point as well. Yeah.
Also, we have to remember too, you guys, look, our parents have our best interests in their own mind, in their own heart, and in their own thought process and the way they create life, but they're not us.
That's true.
We are not them and they are not us. And what they think they're doing is for our benefit is because sometimes that's owned from their own mind of what they want for us. And that's not really what's for us. We have to remember that too. And that's why I bring up the whole thing. But yes, 100% Kojo. If we could find that balance, I think that would probably be the solution, right?
I like that, Kojo. And I like what you said, Gus. It is the balance, because it's tough to deal with men. You know, I would like my dad to be more involved. However, it's that same thing. Like, I'm going to have autonomy. I'm going to pick, because like you said, Gus, it's going to be what I like, what I want, and I could be completely wrong, but especially, me, I'm headstrong. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it anyway. But I think it is super wise to bring in, because y'all know y'all men, even if I was really close with you, Tyrone or Kojo, and I have you, Gus, because you already know, it's like, I want you to holler at this dude and go sit down and eat with him. You're going to be able to detect things that I'm not going to get as a woman as quickly, because y'all are men. So I do think it's really important to start to invite in community in these things for some assistance. Please. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Yes, it's going, but so it's a mix between what you both are saying, Kojo and Gus. I think both, like you said, finding the fine balance. I think there's value in both, like, for sure. I think I don't want to say we've lost it. Maybe I've lost that in my life a little bit, leaning on some of my guy friends or my dad to kind of help me vet. But I think it's something that we should absolutely be doing.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna listen anyway.
Maybe not. It depends on are we ready to love? You know what I'm saying?
It depends on
the guy. I've fallen enough to maybe consider and be like, all right, and then maybe further the conversation with my friend or my dad or what, and do it how we do. Before, you're right. Like, no, like I said, I'm finna. I love this man. I love him. You know what I mean? But
can I ask you a question? Oh, sorry, honey. Can I ask you guys a question?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever sought outside of yourself and your own personal needs to satisfy your parents and what they think and what they want for your future? And that's kind of what I'm trying to get to as Sabrina shakes her head, is that can be really harming, and we can really fall off our own course.
True.
Yes, it can happen from the ladder of it being not beneficial to us and a disservice by not taking their counsel and advice when their intentions are great and they're there, but our parents are human too. And like you said, Jamie, we do need counsel sometimes. And yes, I'm going to sit there and be next to this man that is going to be in your life, and I'm going to look like this, and I'm going to be able to dissect him in 2 seconds and know if he's right or not for you. But I think the older I get, at least, and I'm trying not to speak too loud because my mom's in the room, it's like what my mom wanted for me my whole life wasn't what was authentic and good for me and right for me. She had her right intentions there, because that's what she knew. She operates from her level of consciousness. But me being a grown-ass man needs and is operating from a different space, from a different energy, from a different consciousness, from a different world. I mean, I was raised in a different consciousness in my years than hers were. So yes, we can also always value the ancient wisdom, the things that are from in the past, because those are the things that set us in the future to learn and grow from. But we can't be stuck in the past and expect to gain the outcome of something new and better for us if it's from somebody else's past and situation.
Agreed.
Oh, totally agree. I love the gems that my Shake It Baby Kojo dropped and Gus is giving you. I remember one hardship that I had, like, in staying married, because like, sometimes we're done, but we still trying to make something work. For a small portion of that time, it was because of my mom. My mom was a single mother who worked her way up, and when she saw me get married, I hadn't only fulfilled her dreams for me, but in her day and time, her dreams for herself. I mean, she's divorced. I have a loving relationship with my dad and my stepdad and my uncle. So it's a very non-traditional, single parent home, because I have male influence in my life, no absentee of it. But I think that my mom, for a moment, was maybe living vicariously through me, living out her aspirations for me, through me. So that, like, added additional pressure to me, trying to make bringing something back to life that was already dead, and the RIP time was called and it was dead, but I was still still trying to shock some life back into it. And it took me a little while, a little growth and courage to recognize that, sometimes we have to look at ourselves and make a very tough decision for ourselves, because just like, we've had so many spiritually bonded people on the show. And just like, it says, when you become married, you cling to your husband and you leave your parents, behind. And so I think that sometimes we do try to fulfill our parents' dreams for us, even when we know that those dreams have met their RIP date. And in trying to make them happy and having so much pressure as to bring success and happiness to your family and your parents, I think sometimes that do happen. Gus, I think you're right on that. You got to reclaim
From my
your
own
time
experience,
sometimes with these
I can
parents.
speak for mine. Nobody else's. Just for me, that's something
No,
that I
I'm
can speak of because it was mine, you know. And
No, I'm saying your perspective is a very valuable one. And there's so many ways of living life and so many ways of doing things. I think people like someone like myself can relate to what you're saying, even though the narrative is probably different, but I get what you're saying.
If we're ready to love, we need to know ourselves and love ourselves, right? And that's going to be
Yes.
set beyond any outside influence.
That's what I was going
That's
to.
completely isolated into our own existence, our own being. Yes, we have support from the family, the friends, the world, God, universe, whatever you want to say, but genuine self-love to where you're really ready for this real thing called love. I dare to say something that on the show Joy embodies is that she loves herself regardless of anything else. And she's had to come to that place of independence to get to that space. Not shutting off the guides and all that stuff, no, but we really need to really know ourselves, right?
I agree. I agree that 100%. I would add a perspective. I'm a very independent person, right? So when I was younger, dating people, I didn't even bother bringing them to my parents. My thing is, I need to figure it out myself. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen, right? Until you meet a moment that you can't read, and then you realize, okay, what do I do now, right? And I remember I had a conversation with my dad about this. I was like, "So, Dad, one of my ex-girlfriends, what did you think of them? Like, he met them once." I said, "I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I was gonna tell you, but you didn't ask me. But she was never gonna make it." I was like, "Why you tell me? Like, because you never asked me. You didn't want me to. You didn't want to ask me. You looked like you wanted to figure out yourself, and I wasn't gonna force my opinion onto you, right?" And from then, when we had that conversation, I opened myself up and I said, "You know what? I will be happy to bring someone to you and you assess, right? Because I'm grown enough now also to have my own mind, my own thoughts, and now I'm going to see, do we align? Now, I know, and I think it's also important for us as kids as well of our parents to know where their weaknesses are, what their potential projections may be, and potentially what their failures may have been that may be projecting onto their decision to tell you a piece of information, so that you can actually wholesomely consider what they're actually saying. So that's also important as well. Like you were saying, Gus, one must know themselves first and foremost. That's a first and foremost. You have to know yourself, and then again, once you know yourself, I would advise anybody, if you've got good counsel, use them. This has come from me, who would have said to you beforehand, I don't care, I'm not asking my parents if I get married, I'll just go and do it. Now I'm like, no. Like, there are things that the eagle sees that the worm can't see. It's and it looks like you know it, but then when you get to where the eagle gets to, you realize, whoa, maybe I should have listened to what the eagle was kind of saying. So I'm not saying it really depends on your situation, your scenario, because not everyone has got good people around them enough that are wise enough also to give that good, wholesome counsel, and not that is projection, So it depends on your situation. You have to analyze what your situation is and what your environment is around you as well. So I'm agreeing with you.
And the sun can see what the eagle can't see.
That's true.
Right? So it's
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kojo, that's really important too, especially with Gus, knowing yourself, but also having good counsel, because if you don't know yourself, the counsel that you have can tell you who you are, and that's also problematic too. If you don't know who you are or who you're going to be, now they're shaping you. Like Stacey B said, they're living vicariously through you and shaping and dictating all of your stuff or whatnot. I was blessed, and not saying that we're not blessed in our own ways, but I was blessed with a parent that just gave me his experiences, and he just let me make my decisions off of his experiences. He's like, hey, this is what it is to. I'll take an example for when I got pregnant with my daughter. He was like, I know how it feels to have a kid, and I know how it feels to lose a kid. It's going to be your decision. Whatever it is, I support you in that. You know, you're at a stage now, you're grown, you've been out of my house for so long. This is your decision. I'm gonna be here, you know, and that gave me the confidence to say, okay, I know which way I can go. It wasn't, oh, shame on you, you not married, this, you know, it made me feel bad about myself. And it also wasn't just, well, whatever you want to do with your life.
Right.
On you now, you know. So it was that balance that we always talk about. It was that fine balance in between. Is like, I understand you're still my baby, but you're an adult now, and I need you to be that. And so, you know, as parents, it's a fine line to walk because we want to protect our babies all the way up until or whatnot. But, you know, at some point, it's like, we got to let you out the nest. Yeah. And you got to fly. Sometimes you might crash and burn and stuff, but I'm going to be here.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I love you all.
That was deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that face. Joy just makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her. She's in love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does anyone have any final remarks on the last situation before we move forward? Okay, so Joy and her sister Tia are meeting Clifton. Joy says that it's been a decade since she's been in a serious relationship. Cliff does walk up and says, and while he's walking up, he says on green screen that he has found love and has one more thing he needs to do to finalize the process. Tia says Cliff is gorgeous. Sister goes right in and talks about Joy leaving soon as or is going to be leaving soon and going back to Mexico and how he feels about it. He says he doesn't like it. It's new. He knows that it's not going to be easy, but he wants togetherness. Cliff says that his heart is breaking and he is a touch and feel kind of person, so it will be hard for him. The sister is concerned about the distance, and Joy says that she wants it to work, but if it doesn't, then it just doesn't. So, Jay, since you're under me, what are your thoughts?
That last comment Joy made, I think that was her tough exterior talking. You know, that's what we do to prepare ourselves if it don't work. You know, if it doesn't work, and check myself back into work. I'm gonna focus back onto what I got going on and stuff and do me. But it's written all over her face. It's written through her emotions, even the talk afterwards with her sister, the last little talks with Clifton. She's feeling it. And what she's trying to do is keep the tough exterior going so she can just get through and get on the plane and you know, get on her way and get back to her life, what she's been doing. But this is a new process for them both, which is her obviously haven't had something in 10 years. So she hasn't been through a relationship where she has to leave him and this is nothing for me, I just got to go or whatnot. And he's having to now deal with somebody being gone. And we've known he's been married twice. So that means that he's more of, I need your presence. You know, married type people want you around. You know, they're used to you being there and all this. And so this is a new process, which is beautiful for them both because they get to go through this journey together to see what they can really handle when I love somebody, when I want to love somebody or whatnot. And so when you get to do that first steps with somebody, it's awesome. It's scary. But it's invigorating in the sense that we both don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen. So let's just figure it out and talk to each other and see where it goes and stuff. Yeah. And that outfit, Clifton, I don't know what's going on.
I loved it.
I know, but they were matching. I was like, okay. But they're so cute together. I love them together. You know, they bring smiles to each other's face. They have this youthful energy, which is beautiful. And you can tell that they built a strong foundation as least friends. So that's always good for a long distance relationship. You know, it's like, I can talk to you often. And I don't feel like I'm gone away from you from just talking on the phone. Yeah, we'll talk about physical later. That might mess it up a little bit when you start trying to have relations before you get on a plane. Then you'd be like, damn it, I want more. But yeah, go.
I love what her sister said. You look different. You are smiling really big. You have this new energy to you. And that's the things that we love to hear from the people we love, right? That they really see us. They're like, you've changed. And I think that's what's so terrifying to Joy, right? Maybe why she has, like you're saying a little bit, that her guard is still a little up. She's still trying to protect herself just a little because she really is here for this. I mean, her own sister's seeing it. Her own sister's falling in love in front of her face, you know, with this man that she's into. And once again, I'll say it again. Look, I'm an artist like Joy. I've been in the entertainment industry for 30 years. It's hard for people like us to find somebody that's going to be able to actually deal with what we do and how we live, who are going to still be able to commit and provide the dedicated relationship that we are seeking on both sides. So that's where I feel like her hesitation's really coming from. You know, on our end of the stick, we get burned a lot because people aren't capable of it. They'll have to end up doing infidelity will happen, or the touch is more important. So they say thank you, but no thank you. And that's where all of her fear is being held right now is, will this work? She said it, this is everything I've asked for. Will this work? And there's something about me that thinks that Joy is the type of alchemist that I know she's afraid of this right now. And she might think this could be a setback or something that could hold them back. But this might be exactly what he needs to shift into his next evolution of being the better man and where they can become a partnership.
I saw that Clifton said, put some respect on my name.
I didn't see that. Sorry, I was talking.
I love how Clifton said seeing joy is bliss. Like, really, I think that's everything that, you know, you want to hear from your partner, potential partner, somebody you're finna commit to, because it shows that he's leaned in. And as much as they talk about the distance and whatnot on this show and kind of make it an issue, I don't believe that it is. Now, is it something? Absolutely. But I feel like when you are in a place and you know how challenging it is for you to meet somebody that you vibe with like that, I feel like you're going to go on and do what it is that you need to do at this point to make it happen. So I do think it's going to be challenging for Clifton, and I do think it's going to be challenging for Joy, despite how she feels about it. Because she was kind of saying it hasn't hit me yet. I don't know. I think it's harder for you. It's going to be hard for them both. But do I think that they are both willing to put the effort to make it work? Yeah. And that's really all that you need. And that's all that they can do. And when Joy says, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I kind of see the tough girl exterior. Like, I don't know, you know, I got to put my hands up on this. But I also see the beauty in the reality of things, because that's the truth.
Yep.
I'm willing, he's willing. It's bliss when he sees me. It's bliss when I see him. We're going to try. And if it doesn't, that's like a whole nother thing. But we're both going to go in 100 and 100. Because a lot of people say, oh, relationships 50-50. I don't believe that. It's 100-100. We're both going to go in 100-100 and make this thing work. So I think there are enough ingredients to make it happen. And sister is smitten. Sister is like, oh my God. I was like, girl, you sweating over this man. Like, she sees it, she feels it. I just love the interaction. It all felt extremely natural. And I love it. I love to see it. Falling in love is so much fun. And, you know, like you said, Gus, when the people that you love can see your countenance change, it's just like, oh my God, like this is really happening. You know what I'm saying? And this is fun. This is the fun part. So I hope they're genuinely enjoying the ride. And that's what I'm seeing so far between Instagram and the show.
It was on me.
Yeah, that's all I got on it.
Yeah. You know, every time it comes up, you can see Joy get really, really emotional about it. So it's coming off as, you know, she's been here before, right? When she was mentioning like, this is everything that I have asked for, like I really, really felt that. You know, when it came up in the whole Will Smith thing, like when you have when you're at your best, the devil reveals himself. And it's like the distance is that devil, right? I've been deployed twice. I know what it's like to have those long distance relationships. I've been in relationships both times, and it's always the leaving again that is the hardest part of it, like saying goodbye. And the last thing you want to do is get comfortable saying goodbye to your mate. You know, Stacy alluded to it. The sister sees what Joy's feeling in Clifton, but I also feel like they're sisters. So the sister has also been there before as well, right? Which is why she knows that, it is a big deal to Joy. So, I'm really, really rooting for them. I don't want them to get used to saying goodbye. So hopefully when they do get to see each other, those visits are extended visits. But more power to them,
I hope they can build a lifestyle around what they have, like extended visits, saying goodbye. How can they make the lifestyle work? Can Clifton? I don't know what he does for a living, but is there a remote option for his job? Can they purchase property in Puerto Bay? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I hope that if they're gonna cross this line together, it doesn't become that's your job, this is my life, I'm doing me, you're doing you, and we're gonna try to. How can they make this a cohesive lifestyle together? That's what I would like to see. That's what I feel like I would do if I was in this position. It doesn't have to be like, well, I'm not going to stay in Puerto Vallarta no more. Or I'm not
right.
But what can we do? Like, let's put a time on it. Let's give ourselves 1 year. In 1 year, how can we, and whatever that is, so that we can build a life together? Because essentially that's going to be what needs to be done, in my opinion.
I think putting time limit on it might add a little more pressure, though.
Well, not a limit, but if whatever they choose to, whatever works for them.
If you move forward with intention and purpose, then I think that's all you need to do. And at 6 months, you reevaluate naturally. You go 6 months, how'd this work? I could see you a little more. I could see you, whatever. I don't know. But no man wants pressure. And I'm not speaking for myself. A lot of men say they always think something's pressureful. So that's why I'm just trying to avoid maybe that type of situation for a man, quote unquote.
I think everybody has their way of making it work. But what I got from Joy's interaction with Clifton, especially towards like the end when she's like, I'm not wanting to say goodbye to make it real yet, is that people, so like Ty, I've also, in my marriage, I'd had segments where it was long distance and my ex was abroad and the kids and I were here. And I think what I got from Joy was some grown woman shit, like, hey, if we're going to be together, there's certain things about you and I that we need to normalize. So this might be uncomfortable, but I'm not going to make it such a big and somber event, because this is what we got to do as grown people.
Yep.
It's called, she was making accommodations. She was teaching him and making him comfortable with accommodating one another, because just as she's away, he's going to be home. So I think that when you're a grown-ass woman and you're a grown-ass man, such as Clifton and Joy, I think you will figure out a way to make things work. Distance isn't such a big deal as sometimes we put emphasis on. Like, we put emphasis on because of the physical things we need from our partner, the physical reassurance, seeing you, touching you, like those things. But at this stage in our life, Clifton has been through marriages. He's been through things. Joy has been through a life, and at this point, you're trying to connect with someone in a real way. And there's no cookie cutter, answers to that. But I love that she was normalizing, hey, this is how our lives work right now. And we're going to make this work. This is not a hardship for us. This is just, hey, another day with Clifton and Joy. Like, so that's what I got from it, and I'm going to stand on that.
I want to watch that show, Another Day with Clifton and Joy.
Do y'all think that Clifton and Joy are going to go the long haul? Like, do you see them still together in 3 to 5 years and possibly getting married?
I do.
I do.
From this standpoint, it's like I'm an energy person, so I have to feel energy. But from what I can see them making it work for however long they decide to really make it work, and I can see them going a good distance because it's been great communication. That's the biggest thing between them two. They've been having real good communication. They've been open, and we know they've been open through the process, and so they'll make it work.
They're two people ready for love. Genuinely ready for love, and I think you make it work if you're ready for love. So I would be surprised if they didn't. But
yeah.
What about you, Tyrone, Kojo?
No, I mean, I definitely can see that he recognizes that he has a good thing in Joy, and vice versa. I think we mentioned earlier that they have both been through some things, right? They have lived a full life, and I feel like at this point, you know, after having the ability to have their meetings and initial interactions play out, you know, on screen, it just comes off as like a very wonderful, you know, fairy tale that they could tell their friends, they could tell their family, maybe even some future kids. Hey, this is how your parents met. This is the trials and tribulations that we dealt with. You know what I mean? A little bit of distance, a little bit of time, right? I am more than sure that they can get through these first 6 months. Then they'll be able to reevaluate and see that it is not a deal breaker for them. You know, they can actually probably use that time, you know, to get to know themselves better and maybe realize that maybe the physical, which they feel is needed, is not what truly defines them, right? That's one of the things that I learned, you know, 8 months with nothing. I'd learned that it wasn't, you know, sex isn't what defined me, right? The person and building the connection, you know, is what's more important.
Yes.
So yes, I definitely see that for them.
that's what I meant by Clifton this might be exactly what Clifton needs to shift into his next phase of existence, is what you just said so articulately.
What about you, Kojo?
I agree.
So you actually see them together for the long haul, 3-5 years, getting married, all that?
Yeah, I can see that happening. Their connection is genuine. You know, they have good energy, good vibes. It's just about problem solving, isn't it? If they're wanting to problem solve, then this could be solved. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I can see them going the distance. It's just whether they want to problem solve. If they're willing to problem solve, then this can be figured out for them easily.
The wonderful thing about their situation, the wonderful thing about their situation, opposed to like how Tyrone's situation was set up too, is they're not military. Military has a structure, so you can't really be visiting people when you want to and all this stuff like that. They have the ability to leave and go when they need to. She can take a vacation from her job or whatnot, and he can take one from his. And so them frequent flyer miles just gonna have to be racked up, and that's all it is, you know. And then we get free trips after a while. So
yeah, they can plan for the life that they want to live.
And from what she said, it's not a year; it's 6 months out of the year. So I mean, that's not a very long time. I mean, we've done really, since this show was filmed, wrapped, with the exception of the reunion show, it's been damn near 6 months.
We're almost done.
Sabrina, do you think that they'll make it?
I keep saying this in all my lives and the comments that I do. I believe it's genuine. I believe it's real. I believe it's authentic. I believe they were transparent. I believe they came in looking for love, and that's exactly what they found. I don't see not one little thing that this is not real. And I said that if this is not real and they do not make it, and this was a fake, I'm
burning shit down.
And the Oscar goes too.
Right.
Yeah. They had me in this joint crying the other night.
David, I'm flipping over tables. I'm gonna have to act like I'm toxic for one day. I'm vested in this shit working, so y'all figure that out. No pressure.
Right. If they don't make it,
no pressure.
Yeah.
Listen,
like, yeah.
Listen,
start a protest, signs and everything.
Gus, I'm putting it out there for you, and if you need a PA, call me. But we're gonna get that spinoff where they is ready for marriage with Joy and Clifton. Gus is producing that. Yay! Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let this be like a wedding. Like I wish somebody from Ready to Love would get married, and Own comes in and does a whole production and pays for the wedding, pays for the cake, the flowers, the dress, the tux, the groomsmen, haircuts, fingernails, hair. I think they should do the whole thing.
VH1 does it. VH1 does a great job of following, or Bravo. Like when the Housewives and all that got stuff going on, they do a great job. Bravo and VH1 of like following up and spin-offs and creating something. Like they see it quick and make moves. Like hopefully they do something like that. Ready to Love. What do they have? Ready to Love, the resort situation right now. Ready to Love. What, weddings, Clifton and Joy, whatever they're gonna do. Give us a season, a half a season, 6 episodes.
Ready to Love, follow the journey. There it is.
Yeah.
How many people are still together from Ready to Love? Do y'all know?
I think 3 couples.
3 couples,
so
4.
Great. Follow 3 couples. It's like a little,
we just
give
started
them one. Boom.
But I love them together. I hope that they make it. I'll send them all the good vibes, positive energy, and prayers their way. And I hope that they can make it through this thing, and actually to think like to tell their kids growing up, like, we met each other on a reality TV show, guys. Like, look, and it's been 30 years later, like you just never know what's in store. But like I said, I would be very disappointed. Like I might shed I might cry a little bit. Like I might cry a little bit if it's like, if they was like, we was just playing, what I'm saying? Like, what? So, but
please, you can see truth and love after Joy finishes every sentence, because it's such a such a release, and it's just like, what movie was that when it was like, and I just that's what I get every time she finishes a sentence and she's talking about Clifton or she's around him. I just want to like
waiting to exhale.
Yeah. She's either crying or she's laughing, and I live for it.
She was laughing her ass off the whole show. I was like,
the whole show, giggling. Joy Giggles should be her nickname. Joy Giggles. It's inspiring, isn't it? I know I'm that sappy person though, but it's just like, I don't even want to go there. But it's just, I hope we all can have that one day. Really, that's why we watch the show. It's been such a great representation of that. It's so easy with them, the way they communicate. You can tell that they put each other at so much peace, and they are so confident in each other and just present that they just can talk, and they can be 100, and they can be grown, they can be mature, and they can have the conversations that are necessary. I mean, I'm manifesting all the time, and I had to put that from watching them into my manifestation, being specific, calling my man in. I was like, that peace, that ease. Like I brought a lot of what I found for them into my clarity to make that alchemy for myself, And
I love how when Joy started, she said, when I first saw you, I saw a best friend in you. And that really touched me, because it's like, we've talked about this, like with Donovan and Carmen, and maybe Physical, with Sabrina and this, she's playing the game, and there's always a number 2, and there's this, and then there's all of this. But when you clear the smoke and when you're really ready and you come across that person, you're a best friend, you have the connection. There's none of this number 1, number 2, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, it just feels like the chaos was cleared from them. Because after that first date where they sat down and he drank after her, it was very clear. Now I know, and I'm going to say it's for the show, Clifton was like, yeah, Joy's my number 1. That's the strongest connection. But Dakia, he would even do that. He'd be like, Joy, But Dakia, like his body language was like, not locked in, you know what I'm saying? So I just love the whole best friend aspect. That's so important, because even when 2 people to get together and they're doing whatever they're doing, you want to converse with your friend. Your friend is something different than just some dude you're dating, some dude you're having sex with. Like, it's just a different kind of bond. So I love it all the way around. And I hope that we all get to experience something like that, where it's easy, where it's not like you're number 2 to somebody, or it's just physical for now. And like all of that, when you got what you got, dive in. So I love that. It's the besties for me.
Yeah.
True. Does anybody have anything else to say about Cliff and Joy for this scene where he meets her sister, Tia? No.
Oh, good.
Okay. So the next scene, we have Dakia meeting Paul meeting Dakia's brother and mother. Okay. Okay.
Do you even have anything like, why are we even here? Oh, never mind. Did I say that out loud? My bad.
Those are
my
the same thing.
Yeah.
So she does,
accurate.
she does explain that this is new and she is not sure about Paul, and they just started to hang out and date. Paul says that they both have a connection and hopes that this isn't a rebound. Paul also states that he was married for 12 years and that he has two 27-year-old, I think it was twins. Mom asked about the kids and says that she does want grandbabies, and pretty much, what's going on with you and the kids? Like, y'all going, you know what I'm saying? You gonna pop me out? And he was like, yeah. So the kid was like, tell the truth. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm like almost 50. I ain't really. So pretty much Paul also states that he does have good credit and he walks like it. Mom says that he sounds like he's a good guy. Brother asks, does Dakia think that he is someone that she could be with? She said that they vibe, they mash, but she wants flames and she wants forever. And she pretty much states that she ain't really getting that from him. So you guys thought on Paul and Dakia meeting the mother and brother. And I think her mom was like, oh, you old. That's why you can't have no babies, because you old or something like that. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, they definitely was going in on Paul. So
they knew they didn't owe any parents or family a visit. Let's start there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was a waste of time, because y'all know, you let your parents meet everybody that's a potential homie or homegirl. No, you don't. Not at 40 or however old 39, however old she is. And if I got anything from this, was Dakia comes from very beautiful genes. Her brother's handsome. Her mom seems phenomenal. It runs in the family. And then Paul, this moment was for you and your potential suitors. We're glad you got to walk with a dip, that high credit score dip out for your potential suitors, ones that's better suited for you, the ones that, you would mesh better with. This ain't no hate for anybody, but let's be real about this. That was some bullshit.
Yeah, look, I don't know Paul personally, but on this show, he has just irked me the whole time. It's hard for me to take him serious. I don't find any truth or depth or compassion. There's no substance with anything that he comes with. It seems so preordained and calculated. And I think that's going to be impossible for anybody to find love with that type of intention moving forward. And yeah, maybe on their part, they gave us an example of some type of bullshit that really does happen in real life. I'm trying to see the optimism in that, because this does happen and it's weird, but they both seem like pawns. Paul and Dakia feel like pawns that they need another couple. Everyone else was like, peace, ain't nobody here. And they were both willing because they know it's a game and they're playing it. I never bought anything they were saying, any of the connection or the thoughts, or they're both too smart for that. They're both too self-aware for all of that to believe anything like of that type of nature. I love that her brother was family to me in some sense. I think, at least I hope. I love that he asked like the straightforward questions. You saw why she was who she was. I liked her family. You can tell that's where she comes from.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know. It was pointless, but other than that, it was nice to see Dakia's family.
Yeah, it was aesthetically beautiful.
Right.
And really, the only thing Paul was thinking was he was looking at the kid, looking at her mom, was like, get out of line one time and I'm going to holler at your mama. You want her. And mama's a baddie. Let's be 100. So, awkward. Your daughter's your daughter, like I'm gonna be your daughter's uncle and I'm a year older than them. Like, what if they hide and I want to holler at one?
What is it? You have a POP? We have a doctor, right?
Why did they ask him, do you got a doctor?
Yeah. And his ass got a 880 and a PPO.
At that point, you should just, like, do you have a beneficiary on your insurance, or do you Before we were going with that, I was like, what is happening?
I was like, oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
So embarrassed.
It was definitely filler. They said some things, to kind of clean it up, but the moms and the brother knew right away that it wasn't it. They called it out.
It was before they got there.
Really. We can move on from this table conversation just like the camera to the pan from it.
Yeah. I mean, every week I was expecting something from Paul, but after it wasn't happening, I just started giving up,
Yeah, there wasn't much.
You were Team Paul from the very beginning.
I saw you try.
You were Team Paul from the beginning, Tyrone.
Yeah, I was. I just felt like he was misunderstood,
Is that how you still feel? Tell us more.
No, I definitely feel like
Stacey
dropped the ball.
Man, every time
I'm
like,
learning from you, Jojo.
Paul. I feel like I mentioned it, like the genuineness. I wanted to see more of that. I felt like Tina was probably the closest thing to it. But when she didn't show up, I could visibly see that he was distraught. And it seemed like he checked out after that.
Tina was the closest thing to it.
Yeah. Not saying that it was going to work.
Tina.
Yeah, because she's young.
Yeah.
He needs someone that's young and doesn't realize all the things that we all realize seeing him where he is at his age. And I think that's a little bit easier for him. That's why he was so set on that. I think that's going to be his go-to. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm not being cheeky. Kojo.
Hey,
I'm
not
just
the
think that
Paul.
really might be the best fit for somebody like him.
Yeah.
Someone young.
As soon as Tina walked in, honey, he was like, he was focused, honey. He was like, Precious who? Precious who?
To be
honest, Precious. He was like, go over there and talk to them.
That's the first time I saw.
Let me wrap my shirt around my head real quick and get this little man body going on, so you can just see my face.
Honey, Paul
he got real smooth.
He was like, oh yeah. Honey, he got real smooth. At first, he was feeling Precious. As soon as Tina came in, he was like, what?
Who that?
Right. She was like,
I wonder who gonna get mad that Paul had uncle vibes at the party. Yeah, young Tinder, how you doing?
And I tell y'all, I met Paul in DC. Smells good, looks good. I mean, the camera didn't do him any justice. Very handsome guy.
Tall.
Yeah, funny.
Yes, Stacey.
Taken outside of this process, not my type.
He's not chocolate enough.
Yeah, I thought you was going somewhere with this, Stacey. You know what I mean? There was no spark. Was no spark for you, Stacey?
I think Paul has potential. I think
you
Paul,
sure do.
I think he's
potential.
tall. I think he's handsome. He got good credit. I think he got a job. Like, yeah, Paul.
It don't matter if he got a job. He got good credit. He can get whatever the hell he wants.
But this ain't about
you
potential.
Got credit, but you still got to pay the bill. If you don't got no money, you can't pay the bill. The statement every month.
You don't have to have a job to have money.
Real talk.
He might be living off his retirement.
We all know potential is not enough, though, especially at this age.
Then he can figure out what woman is for him.
I am a year younger than Paul. Y'all
are you?
Really
Sabrina, I did not know.
I don't know the history of his career. Like they didn't really get into like his career path. So I'm just assuming that he probably just worked hard, saved his money right, letting his money work for him. He got a couple of things going on. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it.
What Sabrina. Vibe did you get from him, Stacey, when you met him? What did you feel? What energy? Does it match up with what we're seeing on the show?
No, I got like, damn, like where was this guy? I don't think
Well, there you
how
go.
he like okay, how a lot of people saw me on the show is not like who they actually meet in real life or in exchange. They'd be like, oh, I know.
So
So
was there sparks?
I think
A bit more time? Would there have been
I
sparks?
think with Paul, there wasn't no more damn time to give this man. Now, it might have been more time to give me. But it wasn't no more time to give him. Tyrone needed some more time. Stacey B needed some more time. But Paul,
he did not need more time.
Listen, I'm gonna say it again. Once Paul figure out if he wants to be Paul or POJ, he will figure out which woman he is for him because that's going to determine.
Every time I hear POJ, I think peanut butter and jelly. Every time.
Like, do you want to be PO or Paul? Like,
he can find his jelly if he decides he want to be POJ. You know what I'm saying?
Crisis, man.
Gus, what were you about to say?
Oh, well, I'm about to kind of read you a little bit, but I love you. Why do you keep going after these guys that like younger women?
Why?
Get up.
I would never go after Paul. I would
But
never.
like you see the okay. I'm just making sure because you know how much I love and adore you. So I'm like, please don't tell me.
I love you too. No, let me explain something to you guys, and I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. And we are talking about season 5, episode 12. But I'm gonna say this because I have a lot of people that say that to me. So one thing about me and men is, ironically, the men that I am introduced to, the ones that I do like, I have gotten involved with in the past, they do like younger women, very younger women, younger women. And I don't know what it is, but I've had issues with people that I have dated in the past that have had issues with women that were way younger, too young. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I have that mental, like, that's a huge red flag to me. Mm-hmm. So if I meet someone, especially if a man that's my age in his 40s and his 50s, and he's still interested in dating 22-year-olds and 21-year-olds, to be honest with you, that's when I cut it off. I'm not interested because, like, you're one step away from being on that level of, I have a young daughter myself, and she's very beautiful, and it's gonna make me feel some type of way.
Ooh, right? Because when you're 60, I'm keeping your grandchild. 100. When you're 60, your grandchild can easily be 20 or 21.
All I can say is Allen versus Farrell. So
I have no desires to date a man that's interested in dating someone that could be his grown daughter. None. Yeah. So I'm not interested.
That's
in
immature.
Just making sure.
Yeah, because my thing is what do men see in women that are that young? What can they really offer you except for that one thing? Like, males. I just feel like
what can they offer?
If that's what you want, I'm not the woman for you because I am grown, I am mature, I am stable, I am, just on another.
Sexy.
Thank you.
All of it.
And my daughter, look, Sabrina, my daughter is 14, knocking on 24. Your age group. No, ma'am.
Yeah. So I can't, if that's what they choose to do, let them. I'm not interested in no man like that. And it's like to the point where I have to do my own background checks because I have been set up with the okie doke, and and slightly I'm offended because it's a lot of.
You gotta also remember, Sabrina, you present a lot younger than what you are, so that's why you're possibly attracting these people because they probably take you as a lot younger as well.
And then you have too much substance for them because they like the young ones that aren't going to question and them or know much about life.
Yeah.
So they can keep doing what they want to do.
I just need to clarify. I'm not saying this about Paul. I don't know anything about who he dates or what he likes or how.
We're not saying this about Paul. Disclaimer.
Don't put this on that Paul because he don't deserve it. I don't know that to be true, so don't do that.
We don't know him.
Not on Paul. We was talking about
general.
Look at God. I'm done. Snacks. They calling you snacks in chat, Kojo.
It was getting tasty.
First of all, Gus. Oh, sorry, Snacks. First of all, Gus, why my child looking like we had a baby? You want to see your long lost son?
Yes.
Cam, come here.
He said why?
He said
why? He said you're
Why?
about to use me. Oh man.
I
He said why?
Like, not tonight. I don't want to meet him in front of all of my peoples.
I don't care.
You better leave the boy alone.
I'm down.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, son.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Surprise! I'm your dad.
Right.
Got some questions to ask, Stacey.
Nice to meet you, son.
Oh, right.
On a live?
Right. This is how we're gonna introduce you.
Sabrina got the exclusive.
I'm so sorry I kept this from you for all this time. I just wanted you to live out your career and your life without holding you back.
Thank you so much.
This is like he's actually thinking, wait.
I'm like, wait.
Oh Lord.
Was there a time?
Yeah. Now explain why you cheated. It's been 5 years.
What is your son's dad? What nationality is he?
American?
What
I'm
nationality?
Creole, Gus.
What ethnicity?
He's black. So he looks just like my mom too, like, and my
Copy.
brother.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
If he needs a play dad, I'm here. I love kids. Big brother.
You say his dad, or what is my son?
No, his dad.
Baby, his daddy is like Opie Taylor white.
Oh.
Is what?
Like Opie Taylor white. Like
Who's Opie Taylor? I'm
Danny.
UK. I'm
Google
so sorry.
it.
I'm UK. I'm so sorry. I'm UK. So.
Gus, I'm
Opie
sorry.
Taylor.
He don't even have your melanin, boo.
Oh, that's such
Copy
a
that.
shame. That's such a shame.
So he's probably from the UK, is what she's trying to say, Kojo.
Oh,
What are
okay.
those cousins?
It went right over my head. Went right over my head.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
A little further north, though.
My bad. Bridgerton.
There you go.
Darling.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Get that picture.
not
Y'all are
the
so funny.
not the last minute kiss
Turn
before
into
you
the Mari
leave.
show.
Not the last
We
minute
all
airport
in
kiss.
this relationship now. We all in this relationship. They better.
That's the
Baby,
last minute
Wait,
airport kiss
did
right
y'all
there.
wait, Clifton? Y'all were pretending like you were being managed, but we already know that innuendo. I caught it because I'm a Virgo. But we gonna wait, and I'm gonna send you off properly.
They might have been for real. They might have
Yeah.
been for real. Give
We
them
all
their
caught-
innocence. I'm gonna give them
we
their
all caught
innocence. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them their innocence. I'm not like y'all heathens. Mhm.
Come on now, James.
I'm full-fledged heathen. I accept it and I live it and I love it.
If they had a dry journey, they had a dry journey.
Hey, it be like that. It
I
be
wouldn't
like that.
be mad if they didn't, but I think they did.
Yeah, I mean they should have done.
Absolutely.
I don't know about should have, but I don't know.
They
I
should
mean,
have.
They should have.
Yeah. Well, we
they've been
all
making a
Kojo,
lot of
would you
jokes.
have? Would you have Kojo?
I will be concerned if the amount of jokes
Even-
you're making about sex and you ain't giving me no sex at the end. I'll be like, wait, what's going on here? What's happening?
Not
I'll be
that she got to
confused.
put out.
That's
just
confusing.
spoke on it.
But
can't be
Kojo,
dropping-
you're making a lot of.
You can't make that many innuendos and then we
But
don't
you
go
do,
to that end.
Kojo, and you're
And I'm doing
Yeah.
something about it.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but I do something about it. So
Yeah.
I don't be dropping them innuendos, not finishing the end. So that's
I
confusing
make
for
all them
me.
innuendos at all the people at my job, and they ain't gonna never see it.
I'm so sorry. You can't be dropping that many innuendos. Both of you doing it, and I'm sure you guys are getting your knocks off, man. Why not, man? I don't know. So you're just
100%.
teasing yourself. You're just
The
teasing
grown
yourself.
ass adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're burning for
Yeah.
nothing, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. They did. Hey,
He says
no
you
power to
burn
them.
it for nothing.
You burning for nothing, man. You must turn your life to none be the
They
nunnery.
didn't invite me, so I'm not gonna say they did. Okay, so hey.
Nah, I mean, listen, that's not that's grown folk business. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
my
saying?
first thought is
Exactly.
ain't no way, bro. Ain't no
Yeah, they definitely already smashed.
You always take the worst of people.
way. What? I mean,
You always take the worst of people.
we grown. Imagine what everyone else is doing. That ain't where they at.
That's what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Because I like to get those things out the way first. But that's different. That's not this.
Yeah.
But they'll have
Why
it
did they even put that in there? Why did production even think that that was necessary to actually add that part of the conversation for what?
I don't think it was the first time either. I think we kind of alluded to it. I think Clifton alluded to it, but I think Joy just kind of played it off.
Like, do they want us to think that they didn't? Why do they want us to think that they haven't had sex yet? That's like my question.
Yeah, I don't get this whole. Yeah,
This is like the second or third time.
Yeah,
that
is we grown or not? Right?
Honestly, I mean, I'm just saying as well. I mean, sleeping in beds with people, I don't know how you lot do it and not do nothing.
Might not be
right.
Okay, so we still
some of you lot are good.
PG-17.
Some of y'all sleeping in beds not doing that. So
Exactly.
I don't know. That's not my,
you know,
that's not the life I lead. I just say if I'm sleeping
I
in
was
the bed,
getting ready to say.
I'm sleeping in the bed. That means laundry is on the other side of me. That's it.
So do y'all really think that up until now, like y'all saw the bags on the bed, they just spent the weekend together. I'm sure they was hooking up outside of you. So y'all really believe that they have not messed around yet of right now?
Come on now. No.
As of right now, after the show?
No. As of right now, while we're watching the show, them at dinner, she's like, I can't wait till we do. You know what I'm saying? At that very moment.
Oh no, I don't even care if the walls have ears. I'm gonna do something. So I don't know.
That's you, Kojo, because you got dark arts in you. You not all the way. You know.
I mean, you know me. I mean, he had his bag on the bed. They slept in the same bed. I don't know what's going on. Like they
and onesies. You know how hard to get out of a onesie.
There's literally
he was in her robe.
Stopping them from.
Yeah, he got out of it that night.
Would nobody be mad if they did? There's nothing stopping them.
I mean, we grown. Listen, let me tell you, if I smell the right scent on a man, it'd be fluttering like a damn butterfly.
True. Our poor son. Is our son listening to this right now?
Our son is 21, Gus. Our son is.
He can handle
it. you gotta fill him in on the details on his child now.
21. Good.
Oh,
yeah, still. So I think they're just covering up. Maybe they got the kids are watching and they want to see that. Probably that's what it is.
Yeah, he does have a kid. I do not need this in my life. Okay, that is just Jesus. I need to go prayer now.
This is emotional.
Oh.
It was authentic.
Yeah,
very.
I think it began to hit her at this point. Yeah, I mean,
it's been hitting her.
The dam was released for sure. The walls that were there couldn't stand any longer. It was like let's deal with it. And Kojo, I know you be crying too because you're a Cancer. So I do. I know how sensitive you are.
I'll be tearing up.
Is it me or did it seem like this cry like actually felt good? You know, you ever have a good cry?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried.
She finally let it come out because she's been holding it back for a while now, and now it's just now coming. So
I get chills thinking about it.
This is that I really like you, almost love you more than I want to admit. Cry.
Yeah.
You have my whole heart. They said you have my whole heart. She said.
Yeah. And
I think they're just saving the "I loves you" for the reunion.
Yeah. But that's that cry though. That's that I love you cry. I don't have to say it, but I really do love you.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm realizing this right now, and I'm actually genuinely happy about this.
Yeah.
But I miss you already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I need to do. We're gonna do this.
This is a God thank you cry.
Yes.
That's what this is a God thank you cry.
I feel it because I was crying thinking the same thing for them, and I was crying for them. I was so emotional on my live. I wish y'all could go back and see it, but they blocked it. YouTube blocked it.
Why?
Crying. You're not allowed to cry anymore. It's too sensitive.
Yeah, I think so. But
is it?
Look at Kojo, like damn it, my whole channel's done.
I would not cry on my channel. Suck up them shit. Don't you do it.
So Joy does get emotional. She says that she does not foresee them not working out. She will, did I say that right? She will fight to maintain their relationship. She says if the ball drops, then it won't be because of her. And, she says it's been a long, dry process. And, pretty much that she hopes that they do get to have relations soon. So But it went real quick from her crying to having relations. I was crying, and then I had to hurry up and dry it up.
It do that to you.
Yeah, I was like,
I
I
definitely have that problem,
and have relations at the same time. That's hard.
right. I was so confused.
When you have needs, it'll do that to you.
Yeah.
You fuck it
Yeah.
up quick.
Like I felt guilty for like still crying and having like tears in my eyes.
Listen,
And then she was like, yeah, and then write it down, and I'm just like,
That you felt
that
butterfly.
moisture redirected itself to another location. That's all that was. It was like
That's when you redirect. That's when you redirect your thoughts.
yeah. That
Your
moisture has to redirect itself too.
yeah.
See, you say.
We must be sleepy because we all just do.
No, because y'all playing. Because y'all don't be real about stuff. Y'all sitting here like we ain't grown. Like, golly, like
Stacey.
you feeling somebody. You in the moment. You have every emotion going on. First of all, the man that came next to you, touched your hand, hugging you. He looked good. He smelled good. Y'all thinking y'all about to leave. Like this is some Romeo and Juliet stuff. Like this is for the lovers. And then you're like, in the middle of one of your tears, you're like, that smells like Hennessy. That smells like, this man smells like he tastes good. You want to drop them tears real quick. Y'all quit playing.
That song "We Cried Together," then we made love.
You know say it again, baby. They knew it back in 1964 how to make it happen.
Hello. Then I made him cry.
Dang, hold up. Will Oliver was saying, "Come on, Stace." Like he know me, okay? You calling me by my friends and family name, right? Sorry, that caught my attention, not my side eye.
Get a good eye. Yeah, no, definitely. I wasn't mad. I think I'm gonna be my publicist mode again real quick. That statement though, a little bit where she's like, "It's not gonna be on me." That's a little problematic, just a little bit, because it's two will be all in the conversation. But I knew what she meant. But the wording, once again, and that's just me being serious right now, is a little off for that.
I think that's hard this day and age, though, because I think everyone's perceptions can be so skewed to a different narrative depending on the emotional state in which you exist. So I think there's no right or wrong answer these days. And I think I received the emotional impact of what she meant by it. Yeah. And I received it full-heartedly for I grasped from it, which was, I will show up and do my best. If it doesn't work, it's because this doesn't work for him. Yeah. But I will be here, and that's it's a difficult space.
You can't put all that ownership on one person when it's two parties involved. Still, though, that's a bit much to say that.
I didn't feel like she was putting it on him at all. I thought she was just being. I hear you, but I didn't feel that. Yeah. As a man, I didn't feel that pressure. I felt it being like, yeah, you are used to this, and I'm not. Like I see that this is going to be different for. Not for you, but for me. And yes, this might be the deal breaker for me because I can't do this. And this is just your life. And you're saying, I understand that then. She's saying, I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to be here. But if you can't, I understand. I didn't take it in the sense like he was going to mess up or she was going to mess up. It was just more of like we're talking about mature facts of life.
Yeah. I took it as her like reiterating that she's all in. Because even before she was like, I don't even know what else to do. At this point, you know what I mean? Like I've given my all.
That's the tears.
Which would insinuate that he's not giving his all.
No,
that's not what it is.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but the natural conclusion would be that the other person is not also giving it all. So it was a problematic statement. For her to say that someone else would drop the ball is a problematic statement. You are saying that the blame would not be at your end or be the other person's end. You cannot guarantee that. In a relationship, both parties are responsible. So it was a problematic statement to put her at a place where he would be the one that would drop the ball. Now, that thing might have been taken out of context, the whole speech. So I'm gonna give it some grace because I think they're amazing. But I'm gonna hold my eye out and be like, excuse me, sis. When you say that someone's gonna drop the ball, either one of us can drop the ball. Joy can get to Mexico and something could change. Clifton could be there, but actually, maybe this not for me. So she saying that comment was a little bit problematic, but again, I'm still holding the grace because we all want to see them win.
Definitely want to
I
see that.
definitely understand why you guys see it that way. I didn't hear it like that.
I didn't take it that way. I took it
Yeah.
as her saying that she ain't gonna drop the ball.
Yeah,
not that
she's
he will.
not gonna be the one. Yeah.
But
That would
And that's
still
all
mean
she
someone
can
has to
do
drop the
is speak
ball.
for
Yeah,
herself.
somebody's has to be at fault. Somebody
Well,
has
who's
to be at
dropping?
fault.
So who's dropping
And
the
it's gonna-
ball?
and it's
But
not
that's
me.
assuming that the ball is going to drop.
But that's what she
Yeah,
said.
that's what she's saying.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
she's
she's
saying that
saying.
it's going to be him that drops it, not me.
People
Yeah.
can say
I
really
passed it,
nice,
he didn't
kind
pick that.
things.
I
People
still
can
didn't
say
take it that
really
way.
nice, kind, fulfilling things that put you at ease, and they don't mean it, and they mean it from a different perspective. So I think what we're doing right now is skewing the not so obvious or the obvious, or yours or my mind, and where it takes us. I think it shows us all where we operate from emotionally when we listen to somebody, essentially. And we're all different. We're all in different space in our life, and we're all going to be moving from our own shoes authentically. And that's why I don't know if I can't agree with you that it's problematic, because I didn't feel it that way or see it that way. And nothing in the way that I've witnessed them move and how they've conversed and their presence together, to me, would ever come off that way. But I hear you, Kojo. I completely hear you.
It's not, and I'm taking it not just from their situation and what we've seen, because this can be said by anybody else. What it does is take the accountability off of myself and put it all on that other person. And that's that's why I say it's problematic. And a real thing is, I put my all into it, and if it doesn't work,
Yeah, I mean, I think it
saying that-
definitely.
That
Y'all
makes
right
you taking
now-
full accountability.
I think it definitely adds pressure to him.
First of all, y'all are going like all the way Dawson's Creek. Like, you remember how they just like used to turn everything simple into like a large piece of psychobabble? Here's the thing. When you're in that situation, all she was trying to do, some of the people might be reading too far into it. All you want to do is give your partner reassurance. Men all the time complain, or I wouldn't even take it as a complaint. They try to make us aware as women, Black women, aware of the fact that sometimes we don't give them the reassurance that we crave and that we require. So it's nothing wrong for her to just reassure him. Look, baby, I know I'm the one bringing this hardship to something new for us right now. But I want you to know I'm here. I'm all in. So I think that's what she meant by not.
I know, but where's the reinsurance in? It's not going to be my fault. Yeah,
that's not the statement. You're staying on one part.
We don't always say things right.
When she first started the statement, I agree with you guys. When she first started the statement, she spoke about how she's going to fight tooth and nail. That's got nothing to do with Clifton. I'm going to fight tooth and nail for the relationship. There's no insinuation that has to happen of that. Then she went on to say, if someone drops a ball, it's not going to be me. That lets you know that the person is saying, if someone drops a ball, it's not going to be me. It's going to be the other person. That is what the insinuation is.
And that's not reinsurance.
It's not a blast.
But this is where you have to invite in understanding for people's heart posture, the way they have been showing up. What about Joy in the way she's been showing up? We don't even know her personally. From these 12 episodes, says she's saying it to not be accountable.
You're going to end up dying in these relationships.
What does happen, and God forbid this does not happen, that they do break up, because none of us want this. But if they break up, even if the breakup is mutual, majority of everybody is going to say Clifton is at fault because of that statement right there.
No,
because it's
I'm not going to.
in everybody's head.
I
said majority. I didn't say everybody, but majority of the population is going to say, she said it. She called.
What did he do?
Like that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That statement right there took her out of the equation. It could have been just like, I put in my effort, and if it doesn't work, I did my best.
Well, here's the question, though. Here's the thing.
That if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But Kojo,
collective pronouns. We collective pronouns. If we drop the ball, it's a collective pronoun. Meaning it's a team, right? When you say I, it becomes personal. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's problematic in total. I'm saying it was a problematic statement.
A statement.
Do you know what I'm saying? If something happens, like Jay said, the seed has been planted. The very first thing will happen she did say she wasn't going to drop the ball, which means it must be Clifton who dropped the ball. And it's a very subtle thing. And it will look like we're being techie about it. But because I like to look at language and how it impacts people, that is a very powerful statement to say very subtly to somebody. I'm not going to drop the ball. If me and you are talking, I say, I ain't going to drop the ball.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
How you not saying?
I'm not going to drop the ball on you. I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
not gonna
I
be
think
me.
that I feel
I've
like
said that
that's
in a
like I said.
relationship.
Yeah, I think it's their own perspective.
say it again,
No,
Coach.
I'm
please.
not gonna miss.
Don't say it
And
again.
we're in that relationship now,
I'm
Tyrone.
not gonna miss.
Don't say it
Stop
again.
it.
And we're in that
I'm not
relationship
gonna
now.
miss.
I know you was waiting for
I
that,
won't
Jay.
drop the ball.
You was waiting for that.
Darling, I won't miss Crumpet Hour. I won't miss Tea Time. I won't miss Pimp House. I won't miss an episode of Bridgerton, darling. I won't drop the ball.
I
when
won't
it comes
drop the
to you,
ball.
Kojo.
Yeah, he's a Cancer. He needs that extra assurance. And I hear what you're saying, Kojo, because for you, that's going to be truth. You're going to dissect it from your perception and the way you interpret words. You're going to focus on the words. Someone from me, I'm going to focus on their feeling. That we or I isn't going to make a difference. And I dare to say that everyone's going to assume it's Clifton if something happens is because everyone's already said that. Now let's get real. Everyone's concerned about his reasons of not being in person because he's never done that before. Everyone's saying his physical touch is the issue. Is Clifton gonna be able to handle all that stuff? That's why people are gonna assume that right
why
away.
we say that? Because of how editing structured it all too.
And it's none of our business.
But when
None of our
and
business.
that adds on to the editing part of it or whatnot, it's going to be a mutual thing if the ball is dropped. Period. Like it's two people in that relationship. It's going to be something responsibility on both parties and stuff. And so to say it like that, that statement, and it's not towards Joy as a negative. That's just period. Yeah. To say that statement as I'm doing my part, so I'm not going to drop the ball. I can't guarantee that because it could just be me who does something later on.
Mm-hmm.
That's putting pressure on myself as well.
That's putting too much pressure on yourself.
Now I'm stuck in a relationship where I'm not happy because I don't want to drop the ball.
Mm-hmm. But Kojo does have a valid point. Kojo, I will give you credit for having a valid point. I think all too often, I think this is something that Ty and Sabrina and I may be familiar with, like how sometimes our words had other meanings and how other people were impacted by however our words were put out there on the show. So, I mean, this is I play around, but I'm not diminishing. You have a valid point how the fact that because that statement's out there, if anything goes wrong, the world is gonna go ham on Clifton. I get what you're saying.
They gonna go ham.
But I don't think it'll be from that one statement.
Clifton won't be allowed back in the country.
I think they will now because we've made it that way.
We ain't gonna let him back in the country.
They'll be like, did he ever leave Mexico?
We ain't just gonna hold hands and be like, he ain't come back in the country, bro.
Period, unfortunately, and stuff. But I'm not saying that statement was that. I didn't think she meant it in that light.
I didn't think so either.
But it's just like it's one of those things that can be misconstrued later on if something was to go.
She didn't already put it in the universe.
Yeah. So he better get it together, Clifton.
Yeah, get it together. Yeah, get it together.
The ball.
We're gonna go to Mexico and ain't never coming back. I don't know what happened.
Me and Gus gonna be at the border, don't worry.
I had some bullshit to say, but I don't think it's grown folk hours yet.
Oh, okay. It's 12:30 around here.
It's 4 moments.
It's 4 o'clock where I am.
Let's go.
Yeah, grown. It's always we grown.
It was grown folks hour as soon as you signed on.
You can refer to that statement was for the bedroom. You better not drop the ball in the bedroom because they haven't done it yet.
Honey, we didn't already went over that question.
I'm trying to stick to my truth.
I'm saying, y'all let me get a man. It won't be one that I drop.
Don't drop that ball.
Honey.
Kojo, take notes.
I'm taking notes. I just want a possible. I feel like I'm over here playing spades. Like I got two, not really. I got like 4 possibles.
4 possibles? What? People?
You don't got no book, Sabrina? No book.
I don't got no book. I don't got no book.
Oh yeah, I got some possible.
You know what you could do with a possible?
Not a damn thing.
You gotta play it.
You gotta play possible gas in your car. So guess what?
Right.
Possible don't pay the bill. If you play your cards right, you can turn a possible into a book, baby.
Yeah, and if somebody playing right against you, they're gonna cut that damn possible out.
No,
you're gonna lose all the points.
You ain't gonna get them all. They not in the same suit.
Well, let's all definitely play spades together when we see each other.
Yes,
Let's do it.
Yes, that would be so.
I always
fun.
win, so whoever wants to be on my team, you know what I'm saying?
Jamie, here we go.
Oh, Jamie sound like me. Okay, that's gonna be
I don't like
competition.
Oh
Is
my
this the winners? Are we the winners? Is that what we doing?
That's it. The Jays always win. That's all I know.
How you switched up on me that quick?
Because she a Jay.
Girl, ain't you on the street for me?
Change your name, Stacey.
We can all be on the same team.
I was
Don't
gonna
let me
choose
pull up.
Jamie, but you know,
Hey,
since
we can
Jay's
be
took
teams
it.
of cutthroat, however y'all want to do
What
it. We
can
can
I
find
do?
out who the real champ is, you know.
I'm just
So
letting you
what's
know.
this? I got you.
Okay. So,
Look at Kojo having fun. I'm over here on my best behavior.
I'm here, Coach, in the background.
oh my God.
We are a mess. Why are we making more of this episode anyway?
We have
I
to.
remember those.
We haven't got
It's the
choice.
last one. It's
Oh,
the last
you're
one.
welcome.
We need to. Mhm.
Woo, chat.
So,
Carmen. Dress is killing it though.
Little
Killing it.
peacock, purple peacock.
Fashions
Y'all-
are always just on point. I love Carmen's fashion style. Her
I
sense
can't
of
lie to
style.
you, it's working for me.
Did you? I thought she looked cute. I know I'm gonna keep it 100. I normally don't do this, but in the Facebook group chat that they had, because I don't really be on Facebook, but ironically, I went in there. And they were saying that they didn't like her shoes with this dress. I know as we off the subject a little bit,
That's
but
all
if
right.
you watch it back, the shoes actually match that turquoise color in her dress.
Oh, I didn't catch you.
I didn't catch
You
your
add
shoes.
a pop of color, and I love that her slit came up to that thigh, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Lead
I
with
loved
that with
it.
your good leg. You better
Yes.
lead with your good leg, baby.
I said the good
Listen,
leg.
if I was a little bit
Oh.
taller, mind your business.
That's the
Mind
possible.
your business.
That's the
Is that the possible?
that's the possible.
It's possible.
That wasn't my phone. My phone dry.
He said, "You
Right.
called me."
Is that the little?
I
Is that the little joker?
got a ringtone.
The little joker.
That's a joker. No. Yeah, that's a big joker.
Okay, that's a definite book then, huh?
Okay. Count it.
up.
Count it.
Look, I'm gonna say it again. I think Carmen needs to be on the Housewives of Potomac. She needs to find herself a boo and be on that show because her fashion senses are all there. The personality, I mean, and that's what I watch those shows for. Is for like their fashions and the drama, right? She's just she belongs on that show, 100% in my opinion.
I'm with you on that. 100.
Yes, I like Carmen's fashion. I didn't catch the shoes, so I don't know.
I didn't see either.
She's smart.
They're like a teal color.
I think all the
Well, I like
ladies
that blue.
gorgeous. Again, Donovan, you're looking like a realtor, darling. Even though
That's
y'all
why I said he wore his realtor suit.
They
That's
match.
his realtor suit because he's a realtor.
But I
Donovan
want
didn't wear his realtor suit.
That's his property suit. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with the realtor suit. I think it's sexy. I like it.
He said he came
It's
to make a sale, and he did. So
He came to
Right.
collect.
Is that what he said?
He came to foreclose. He came to foreclose.
I like it. I like it.
Came to close this sale.
show you these new offers I got. These new listings.
Aww.
He did come to close the sale, honey. He came. You know why he closed? Because he came with a trip.
Yeah.
Okay, he
Had the
came
deed
with
in
a
his
trip.
pocket right there.
Boom.
Hey,
Y'all
what if she
killing
said
me
no?
now.
Would he still gave it a trip? I
She
wonder.
wouldn't have said no. Carmen,
Didn't you hear what he said? He said,
Imagine if he did.
I'm gonna hold on to this until I hear what you got to say. You ain't heard?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah.
They did.
Oh, he bribed her. He bribed her.
It's a ticket to anywhere in the world. They've always been listening to my interviews.
If he would
Yeah,
have been
Carmen's
like,
out. Like,
Yeah.
he would have been like, Carmen, let me tell you something. I can tell you this, and I'm gonna keep it 100 only because I done had a couple glasses of wine. If somebody was like, I got a trip for us, I would have been like, well.
if Walter brought the
what
trip
else
to the
butterfly-
bridge,
She was like, I might not choose
I
myself
was
to
like,
after.
well, I'm glad. I was thinking, I I was thinking for 24 hours. So
if Walter brought a trip to the bridge, would you have gone, Sabrina?
She
I'd
said
be
she
like-
would cross the bridge.
Walter, see, I knew we was perfect for each other. No, I'm just
Where we going?
Why you play so much?
Listen,
I
for-
get all hard
for-
this whole
It's
season.
indoor pool, outdoor pool,
Baby,
bowling
come on.
alley, airstrip.
Now I'm
I need to know
upset.
as well where these tickets are coming from as well. That goes to anywhere. Man. I need one of those tickets.
Oh no, just jokes, folks. Just jokes. Okay, people will take that to the blogs and run with it. Okay.
I might be Miss Right for a flight. Hello. Come on now.
And I don't blame y'all.
Miss
I don't
Right
blame
for
y'all.
a flight.
I'm just saying, when y'all
Too.
see
I would've
all
said
my
yes, too.
pictures
See,
on
this
Instagram
would have been
this
me.
summer.
That would have been me. I would have
I
been
got
like,
to say somewhere. Not
He'd have
you
been my
put your hand on the
cameraman the
phone.
whole trip too. Get this
Hey, get that content
Not you
for the
putting your hand on the phone.
entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Right.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad they chose
Don't
each
mind
other.
me,
so
I'm
that
just
it
eating
don't have to be one-sided.
Yes. So we just
Trying to get
gonna,
swole like Kojo.
Yeah,
Get my
yeah.
protein in.
I got you, bro.
Okay, so
I had my food before I got on here because I already knew.
I didn't eat
I
the
had a
whole
little,
thing.
but it's been 3 hours. I got to get those muscles fed. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking about, Kojo.
grab my
That's a
neck.
I hear you, bro.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Come on,
Mm.
Tell them,
screenshot.
Exactly.
Stacey.
yes.
Tell them, Stacey. You like it.
They
too.
look sexy.
They do
That looks
look
like a
sexy.
movie.
Look amazing.
This is
And then
sexy.
You know a man want to kiss you when he look down at your lips right before he kiss. When he look, baby.
And that
like-
hand on your neck.
Is it? I don't know
Baby.
about that.
Well, see, you
Eyes
know what?
closed.
I'm kind of short, so
I'm
his
kinda
arm
tall.
would have been extended down a little further just to reach my neck. But you know, look,
This
you
is
love
like
can't
it.
never look down
a
at me.
romance book cover. You know,
Mhm.
I know.
I don't know. I would have.
Sexy.
Yeah, they
The
have
hand was
definitely
like
been
this.
here before.
I would appreciate the
hand was
hand
more
like
like-
this.
no, I like it like this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is
You know
this
what I'm
not
saying?
a-
Like,
Y'all better leave the
international
cardboard
hand.
style alone.
I like the way he had it. I'm cool with that.
Is that like oh, that's just fucking so-
Baby, that's
No.
a sexy
Yes.
picture, baby.
That's that passion.
Lean in.
Lean in.
He's gonna send her off properly too. That's
He got his
Sure
will
is.
work for food side still.
Will
better
work
leave
for
Clifton alone.
food.
this was so
He still got that
cute.
sign. He still got that sign that will work for food. He had it on his live the other day.
Y'all, that's
That's
Okay,
cute.
look.
y'all see, you know what? That's something. Now, see, that's not Clifton, but like this person, his personality. That's more of my style. Like I need somebody to laugh with me. Like I
Yep.
got serious shit. Like
Tell you jokes.
I'm
Mhm.
serious
Yeah.
all day long. Like I can't wait to
Coach.
get home and let my hair down. Like play with me, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make me
Best
laugh.
friends.
I'm hearing
The
you.
friendship.
I don't know why the sad face will work
I
for
didn't drop the
food.
ball, baby.
Coach.
Jojo in the back. He's working hard. He working hard in the background.
Taking notes. Taking notes.
What are you doing, Kojo?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Mentally
Running
You don't
taking
hear his
notes.
commentary?
Mentally
Right.
taking notes.
Yeah. Kojo got the big
Late
board
night
over here.
DJing.
What is that? I'm bringing the heat.
See some great shots.
It was cute, man. I can't lie to you. It was cute. I loved it, man.
Say it
Yeah.
again.
You need to be a photographer, Sabrina. These are some great shots you took.
I
Mhm.
am a photographer.
I know
Yeah,
you
you
are.
are.
I know you are.
I like it, man.
Some great photos you took here. You know, they need to hire you at home.
Mhm.
And these are just screenshots off my screen on my computer.
Maybe let me come up there to Potomac and take some pictures.
Yes, trust. I have a bunch of cameras that I can take the pictures with.
And she could put you on her
Okay.
fashion, Stacy. Okay.
Yes, honey. Yes.
She's gonna have to make the little people line for me.
You said the
Oh.
little people line. Well, you know I do have a kids line.
I definitely can.
Wait,
You
how
got
old are you,
that.
Stacey?
Oh, you know what? My daughter is 5'2".
There
Aren't
you
you
go,
like?
Kojo.
I'm trying to figure out
I'm
height.
5'3", like 118.
5'3".
Wow.
It's gonna be like Sabrina to you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
pick it up.
like, I'm
Victoria pick up
I'm
Sabrina.
little.
Mhm.
I need
Okay.
me a tall man like that. I like
Me
that.
too.
Yeah, 'cause she on
I'm
her tippy
5'10",
toes
so I
for
need
it.
me a 6'4". Like I need
But
Oh,
height.
Jamie 5'10".
I'm
I'm
5'10".
glad she's on
Yeah,
her
it's not gonna
tippy
work.
toes
Sorry,
because
Jamie.
it's poking that booty
It's
out.
okay.
It's white. Like it is. This
My
is
heart's
a
not
perfect-
broken.
Not
Joy's
yet.
body is sick.
It's
Joy's
Right?
body is
Yeah.
hanging.
Yeah, her body is sick.
Clifton giving those eyes sop you up kisses. Look how he is like, wait till we get from in front of these people.
Right.
She said they was in the bushes.
Proper.
She said they ended up in the bushes.
Love these two, man.
And you know, when you trying to have a little bit of body separation, because you know you will melt as soon as that man kiss you.
Literally melt.
What, is the Joker gonna call me back yet?
I was melting when he kissed her. I was like, child.
100%. I was like,
yes.
Like, let me go find.
I don't know how she was on her tippy toe holding herself up. My legs would have like crumbled. I'm like,
well, we learned to do that at a young age.
I love how Clifton looks up.
Like at 22, we learned that balance. That heel to height ratio balance.
They both light up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cute.
It's nice to see that from a man.
They made me just want to be kissed and stuff.
What would be so lovely if they just grow up into an old couple? Because I just know that this little, because they got such useful energy, this little love that they have for each other would just be there all the time, and we get like a little old couple story. It'd be so cute.
We'll be old by then, but yeah.
I know. Y'all gonna have to write the story.
I gotta focus on mine.
All right. So last one. So this is the last one.
Let's see these fashions real quick. Why is some people in shorts? That's all I'm gonna say. I know y'all can't see it, but why are they in shorts?
Listen, you need to leave that alone. Okay, leave that alone because you look smart. Leave it alone. LeBron did it. Leave him alone. LeBron.
He ain't LeBron, baby. Okay.
Leave him alone.
LeBron did it first. LeBron was in shorts.
LeBron was in shorts.
I met Laverne. He's a really good guy, and he's really into fashion. Like the way he thinks about things is, he's really like into fashion, I guess. Like he wanted to do something not typical.
Would you date him?
I understand that he got the same stylist as his friend from last season, but no.
Stacey, would you date Laverne?
It's the same stylist.
I asked him, are you dating Laverne? Would you date Laverne?
Get out my phone.
Oh, he's funny. He's funny.
I'm not dropping any balls.
Whoa.
The men are like, that is so good to know.
No, SJ, I didn't. I just met like 5 of them. I didn't meet everybody. I met like 5 of them, and everybody was really nice, kind, down to earth people. So now the ones I ain't meet, I ain't telling. I don't know.
Okay, no worries.
I'm excited
tell
to
us
see
the ones
Tommy
that you did meet.
Yeah, me too.
I already told y'all.
Wow. Sorry, I was eating my beef jerky.
Do you think? I don't know what Carmen's body language is telling me in this picture though. It's making me ready to watch it though.
Oh, like she leaning into Donovan.
Yeah, and look at Demetrius and
Demetrius isn't even looking at Sabrina. He does not want to know her name. He does not want to know her name.
That's a whole foot in between them. They ain't nowhere touching nobody, each other's shoulders, nothing. Like that ain't even like if you in a pew at church next to somebody, you sit closer than that.
Where's P.O.?
In the top right half.
He's with Dakia.
Oh wait, that's him. I thought.
That's Cornbread. My bad.
First row.
Yeah, he's in the back right.
He's next to Joy.
No, that's Cliff.
That's Clifton next to Joy.
He ain't there.
No,
the other side.
The other next to her.
The other side.
Oh, is that other side? Is that him?
Yeah.
That does not look like him.
Is it? I'm sorry, but the dude in the far right in the back behind Demetrius looks like P.O. If that's not him,
that's
then
Cornelius.
I guess
That's
No, that's Corny.
I know. Cornbread does look like P.O. more so than that right there.
I don't think it's P.O. in this shot.
That is P.O. right there next to Dakia. In between Dakia and Joy.
Wow.
That looks real different.
Who would be that? Oh, wow. Okay.
He almost looked like Laverne. He almost looked like Laverne in that picture more so.
Right. I agree.
He looks like a hybrid of a lot of people in that picture.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not getting late.
I see him now. It's like, where's Wally?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
all right.
Like, where's Waldo?
All right. I got to go with y'all. That was fun.
Yeah, she's little. Her dress looked pretty from here, too.
Who you said?
Dakia's. It was looking real pretty from
here. My light is on that corner. So I can... She looked like that picture right there looked like she can be Simone Biles' sister.
Yeah. Yeah, she do. That body
Right.
frame, yeah, and the hair, yeah.
100%.
Wait, who's that? Who's that over there next to Laverne? And I don't know who that is.
Is that Ace and
Oh,
Tiffany?
is that Cookie?
Keena. It's Keena and Tiffany.
No.
Oh, that's Keena. She's so
Tiffany's
pretty.
a fine lady. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Ace is
Keena is
behind Clifton. I see her.
Tina
Yeah,
is
that's
very
what I saw.
beautiful.
Ace.
Okay, Keena is another one that should not have why the hell first
Keena fine too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
first day elimination. That's one who we probably would have enjoyed seeing.
I agree.
Fernando too.
She did not look like that in person.
She is
She
freaking
looked totally
gorgeous.
different.
She's
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
pretty.
she
She's
is.
very, very pretty.
Fine.
Naturally
Yeah.
gorgeous woman.
I liked her.
Very beautiful, and she has a lot of fun energy.
And then
Cookie looking
is
like
that
a
Wiley next to Ace?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look like the whole cast there for now.
Well, this should be fun.
Yeah, that's rumor has it.
Even Tommy is there.
Very
I
spicy.
love
That red suit that Tommy got on got him looking like a character he's about to play the devil. It just very
Even
red.
Tommy is there. Interesting.
Who?
Well, you know, Tommy wasn't there because he had COVID last season.
Supposedly.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed Tanika nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
But Tommy's been more immersed in the process, so I hope that the banter and what he has to say is more in depth, just because he was literally there with them. He knows things that Tanika didn't know, and maybe we don't know, the things that were said that none of us saw. So I'm hoping to see some juice from Tommy.
Maybe they should have Tanika through the season as well. I mean, you know, for the women and stuff. Or vice versa.
Why is Ty laughing?
You know why I'm laughing.
Yes.
Everything's over my head.
You know when you know what you know, you know.
Oh.
I hear you. I hear you, Ty. I hear you.
So the reunion will
spicy. It's going to be spicy.
Yeah. I know people get run off the stage, people start crying, people start calling names, and
I really feel.
I was ready for the reunion 5 episodes ago. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was, can we get to
5 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Can we see what happened, please, already?
What do y'all think they was beefing about at the reunion?
A whole lot.
They talk
probably more things we don't even know. I don't think we saw what we needed to see to really understand the beef. I'm hoping to hear something new.
Tell them again, Stacey.
It was a
Your
lot.
toxicity.
There we go. That's what it was.
It was a lot.
Yes,
it's a hell of a lot.
Just hope I hope we get at least 3 hours of it.
That's what I'm trying to
get the true breath to get it all out.
Well, it's 2 parts. This is just the first part.
Baby,
that's right.
I'm with you.
Last year we
I
felt the
can't
same
wait
thing.
to see this Eric Dakia showdown or whatever, however they're gonna broach this. This will be the first time we had them
seen it, yeah.
Together in one place, talk about it.
What happened?
I don't think that they're going to go in. I think from what I heard and from my understanding, it's not going to be Dakia and Eric. I heard that it was going to be Carmen and Clifton that was going to go in on Dakia because of the Eric situation.
Well,
baby.
Was it me or did I?
You heard Eric's response to it,
or did I see a clip of where Tommy or someone asked, "Well, I mean, like, you don't think like y'all were in a place of a relationship where that would be acceptable?" And he was like, "No."
Right.
Like, meaning he thought they were there.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the first time I'd ever, heard anything like that posed that way. So I was like, oh, this might be an interesting listen just for perspective.
But did you see her response though?
No, because I was doing something and so I heard it. And then by the time I looked.
Because she was like, because her face balled up. Yeah. Like she wasn't agreeing with what Eric was saying. But
I don't think it helps I don't think it helps them to show a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It be like that. It be like that. It be like that.
All right, guys. Well, I love you guys so much. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to go around one more time. I like to do it in the beginning and the end. Let everybody know exactly who you guys are and where they can find you on social media or any platform that you desire to say. We're going to start with
Hi.
Jay.
My name is Jay. This is my cat Mustache, who obviously wants to be in the picture. And I'm on Another Round. You can follow me here on YouTube at Another Round and also on Instagram at anotherround_JS.
I'm Gustavo Carr, Victor Carr. You can call me Gus too. That's where you'll find me at Gustavo Victor Carr on Instagram. And that's where I'll be, and come have fun with me.
Well,
Yeah. I'm Jamie Alexander, and this is where you can find me on Instagram.
What up, y'all? Tyrone. You can find me at TyWilson21 everywhere. I just want to send another shout out to all of the couples that made it to the end, Carmen and Donovan, and a special shout out to Clifton and Joy. As a former person that was on the cast, seeing their whole journey play out is exactly what I would have wanted, for myself. And I'm sure everyone who went into it with intent, probably envisioned something like that for themselves. So actually seeing it play out, well done. So, yeah, shout out to them again.
Yep.
Kojo.
Yep, guys, listen, you know who it is. It's Little Black Book 91. And yeah, same like Tyrone. Shout out to the couples who made it towards the end, Donovan and Carmen, and Clifton and Joy. Wish them all the best, and we're rooting for you. Okay, don't drop the ball.
Well, stop shaking.
You just had to get it in there.
I'm following Gus's footsteps. So.
First of all,
cheeky.
I caught it. Did you see me catch it? You were too busy laughing. You missed me.
My bad, babe. My bad.
No, Sabrina, thank you for having me here. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love, along with this season, I'll give you the utmost credit, and I love to see how your channel has grown, and you're bringing such different perspectives and different people from, everywhere to come and keeping my boo up. We done met my baby daddy. So, I mean, who can get all of that and still talk about a reality show when the whole reality show was in the panel tonight?
Right?
So yeah, thanks for having me. If y'all want to find me, I'm on Instagram, Stacy_B with 3 E's.
I love that.
Does anyone else have anything else to say before we conclude?
Like usual,
Sabrina,
thank you to the
great.
audience. Thank you to the audience. You guys have been wonderful as well. You guys have been respectful and everything, and we appreciate y'all commentary. And thank you again, Sabrina, for having us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, panel. I love you guys. You know I do. Thank you so much to my soulmates that have been all in the chats. Thank you to my moderators. I appreciate you for keeping the chat live as well. And thank you to Own and to Will Packard for bringing these amazing shows, here to us that we're able to review and sit and discuss and talk about, and also bring light to other issues and things that are happening around, us, that we don't really get the opportunities to really talk about unless we had shows like this to allow us to have these type of platforms. And absolutely. And for everyone that's in the chat, everyone that's going to watch the replay, definitely follow everyone on this panel, because we all have something special that we bring to the social media world. And I love you guys so much. And until the next panel, I'll see you guys later. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.